Hail, hail, and welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It is Thursday, the 7th of August, 2025. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We are back. It is the first podcast after the first game of the 2025-2026 season. I'm joined by illustrious guest, Scott McCorry.
Fuck. Started with me? God's sake.
You're just on a podcast. You're kind of in kind of, you're like, have a schedule now of podcasts, don't you?
I think so.
You're back in the mix with the one-on-ones, so.
I'm good, Joe. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. It's Thursday today. It's all good. It's Thursday. Yeah. Feeling good. Tomorrow's the best day of the week. And of course, Jason Higgins out there on Wishaw.
How you doing?
I'm good. And Longshanks.
How are you, Joe?
I'm good. Did you leave Twitter? Yeah.
I did, mate. Yeah, don't use it.
That's right, you did. You're fucking right, though. But the only reason I'm on it and ask for posting stuff on this for this podcast because it's a fucking cesspool of absolute bullshit. But anyway, let's not get into that. We are post St Mirren game, 1-0 win, first game of the season. Where do you want to start this discussion? Because after last week's podcast, was it the next day that the Rodgers interview came out, and we all kind of got a bit like, "Ooh, hold on a fuck."
Well, the interview was basically exactly what we said. We thought what was going on, but since then he's kind of been all right. He was all right in the post-match interview, and like he's kind of going to be a bit more upbeat since that interview. I think so anyway, but I don't know.
I'm just trying to find an actual starting point for our conversation. Like, is that where we start that interview? Because it was pre the first game of the season. It was a bit of a. Was it a shock? I don't know if it was a shock. It was a bit of a like, fuck, we don't need this. I mean, because it almost seemed like he was lashing out a wee bit in a very kind of almost passive-aggressive way, which is completely understandable if you consider what we were talking about last podcast.
I think, Joe. I think the worry is, isn't it? It's feeling a bit deja vu. This is, from the first spell a little bit in that last season. Obviously, the proof would be in the pudding in a few weeks' time, but. 2 weeks, whatever, barely any movement, any rumours, anything at all. So the sound bites aren't overly encouraging. He's got 2 or 3 high quality players lined up that we are waiting to get the nod off them because they've got other offers or they want to hold off or he's not getting the backing that he's looking for, which is he's not going to end well.
Right, so is that where we start then on that negative?
But did you not think after his post-match interview and after he had that interview, he was kind of more upbeat? No, I did.
I just you get a different. It's not a criticism of him. You just get a different soundbite all the time. I mean, he's getting asked the same question day after day, and interview after interview. So I don't know.
But I think he's kind of very calculated what he says. He doesn't say anything that he doesn't want to say. So I think he got his point across, and that was it. And he's kind of moved on. He's no like labouring the point where he was pre-season. He was mentioning it quite a lot, and now he's kind of just saying, "Just go on with it." So I'll wait and see in the next couple of weeks. But I feel a wee bit better than I did since he said the interview, because I thought the interview was quite damning. But since then, seems kind of all right, but who knows?
But is that not a wee bit more alarming as well? Like, if he's just like, well, fuck it, let's just keep on going then.
Well, he's not really any other choice, because he said he would do the 3 years, right? So is it he's just going to do the best of what he's got? He's maybe just accepted it. And
I know, but is Party not think like at some point down the rest of the season that that sort of almost sort of resilience and kind of consigning yourself to like, well, fuck it, let's just get it done, that turns into resentment at some point towards the end.
The end of the day, the season could end up being a total clusterfuck, and you can see kind of the writing on the wall a wee bit. If we don't strengthen, then we've seen it a bit on Sunday. It was all right, we'll go into the game, but if we don't strengthen, if we come to the end of the transfer window and we haven't signed a winger and a striker, I mean, none of us are going to be very excited about the season ahead, are we? I mean, you're talking about if you threw in the Champions League, which at the end of the day, the squad that we've got at the minute I think those two teams would be capable of beating them. No saying they will, but they definitely get into the favourites whoever we play. But you qualify into the Champions League and you get into the Champions League.
I know, but that thing, like, this is what has everybody anxious, though, is this, like, not knowing this, almost like fucking you're teetering on the edge of, you know, is something going to happen? Is something not going to happen? I mean,
at the end of the day, it's playing for everybody to see. Last season, you had Jota, Kuhn, and Kyogo up front. And now you've got none of them, and they've not been replaced.
Yeah.
So,
you know, at the weekend, I said, I was like, I think we kind of missed Kuhn here.
but O'Reilly was at the start of the season, Liam, although he played.
I know, but just even 12 months ago, do you know what I mean? That's the sort of calibre of play you had.
But you knew he was leaving, so take him out the bracket. But you get into last season's Champions League, your three kind of main front players, well, obviously Jota wasn't at the start, but your three main front players, two, Kuhn and Kyogo, when we've not replaced them. And then you bring Jota in, which is a marquee signing, like it's an injury, right? So he's been out we knew he was out for the first half of this season minimum, and we've done nothing to address it. I mean, you get into that Champions League, you're playing Yang in the wing, and you're probably playing Maeda in the other wing, because at the end of the day, Maeda is our best forward at the minute. And you're shoehorning Adamida in there, and it might turn it all right, it might produce the goods. I've not wrote him off, but I would rather he was the number 2 striker.
I think Maeda's tapered off a little bit from that amazing spell he had last season as well. You know, he's still probably our best forward there, but he's kind of just dropped down that slight level from where he was. You know,
we've played one game.
We've had pre-season games as well. He doesn't look quite
pre-season games. Come on.
Yeah.
What? We've got a sample size at one fucking game that he was playing in the left wing. Come on. Are you serious saying Maeda's tapered off these last season's performances?
Come on, Liam. Don't let him browbeat you, mate.
Yeah, I just think he's come off the ball a little bit. At the end of last season, he looked done in. He doesn't look that, you know, that kind of as sharp at the start of this season as he was at the end of last season as well.
Well, do you know what? Looking at the game at the weekend, I went away from it kind of going, it wasn't meh. It was kind of a tepid sort of frustration going like that. I was not inspired by any of it, apart from James Forrest.
He was shite.
Don't you fucking stir the pot, McCordy.
2-1 Rapid.
I mean, fuck. You're right, Liam. Though, like, I mean, this is like this part of the season is it's repeat. It's like being in a fucking abusive relationship. It's like you're just going, here we are again, low ball and cunts, not knowing what's happening. When, like, you would think, see if you won a lot of money, right? Say you won the lottery, you'd probably have full cupboards in your house.
Here it comes.
Right? You'd have full cupboards in your house full of stuff if you won the lottery, right? If you had loads of money, you'd fucking make sure your pantry was full, your fucking fridge was full, your cupboards were full, everything was full, right? Because that's what you do, right? You do that. Whereas Celtic do the opposite. Celtic wait until everybody's just fucking really anxious, really fucking really kind of salivate some kind of fucking progress, anything that's going to look like they're actually trying to move forward, they're trying to build, trying to create something, and it just never seems to come. We have this eternal transfer window of balls every fucking year. Anyway.
Scott, we heard all our views last time around. What you think? Anything different, or are you in the same kind of boat transfer wise?
It's hard to argue with anything anybody's saying because it's all in front of your face. Everything. Now, last year at this point, we hadn't signed our main guys. At this precise point, I don't think we had Ida in the door. We hadn't had the Engels in the door, right? And then you could go way back to Ange's first year, all the main guys didn't come in till late in. And any time we've actually signed anybody early, it's generally been a loan guy, and then we've signed them. Do you know what I mean? So there is time. You asked the question. Oh, somebody had asked the question the other day, recently. Are we waiting for us to qualify? And I think I was trying to find it earlier on, and I asked you, but you just blanked me. But you put up a post that kind of disproved that we wait to qualify for things.
Yeah.
And sign guys, right? So that's not really an argument. Do you know what I mean? Signing guys late in the window seems to be a preference of the club. Now, we are only surmising that it's a preference, because it could just be damn unlucky every time. But it looks like a preference. It looks like the better deals are to be made later in the window, and that is how we work it. Rather, I do believe, again, based on nothing, I do believe the club have a value of a player, and we won't pay over the odds for it. I mean, this thing about the guys we were after, there was a boy who was at Rapid, and he went to France. There's the boy at Brøndby that we were chasing for 1 million years, and he ended up going, we were talking about 11 million at one point. How much did they go for eventually? 4.2 or something? Very much in our fucking wheelhouse in terms of outlay. But there's, sorry, when you go.
Just what? Sorry, mate, to interrupt you. Just on that point, so do you think last summer that Rodgers made the club overpay for players like Ida in the club's opinion?
Well, the Ida one, definitely. We all know we overpaid. Anybody that watches Celtic knows we overpaid, but we overpaid in a circumstance. We overpaid, but we overpaid because the boy was coming for England. We overpaid because the boy had done well for us, and we overpaid because the boy wanted to come to us and we wanted him. So for Norwich, it was a great position to have. It was a great, and we had money in the pocket and we kind of needed them. And it's not, the thing is, imagine we never signed either. What the uproar would be. Right? So we're at a stage where everything we do is going to cause consternation at some point. Somebody's going to moan about the decision we make. Now, I think people get too het up about what a guy costs, considering the amount of money that we've got in the bank, and the club has made no interest in telling us what that money's there for. And so see, right now, we need to go over the fact of what Ida cost us. Now, if you don't think Ida's got any redeeming qualities and should not be at Celtic, fair dues. I can honestly understand that viewing when you watch stuff like Sunday past, because I think the big man was really, really poor.
No, right? I'm not saying that at all, Scott. I agree with you.
Mate, I'm really commenting on what you said. I'm kind of merely going to finish my diatribe, and then you can pick it apart. And then you've got the Engels thing, and as it sits in the Engels is our record signing. But we're a year down the line where the boys came in and had a good season. It wasn't a great season. It was a good season. People should now forget about much we paid for them. They should own it. It's gone. It's gone in the I mean, if we go to amortization or that, whatever, how you pronounce it, he's probably now, because we're a year down the line, he's probably worth 7.5. Right? It's the same as buying a fucking new motor. But I do get a feeling Celtic look to the end of the window and to see which players aren't going to get used by the current manager, aren't going to be interested, and Celtic then look at it and go, we can get better deals out of this, be it loan to buy, be it cheaper players, be it players more desperate to move. And I think there is logic in that. I mean, it's common sense, but that doesn't suit a football manager. That doesn't suit a professional football manager who wants the guys in the door and helping. We should be, guys that we want should be in the door and ready for this Champions League, rather than the case, as we've seen repeatedly, we go and sign this guy, however good he is, and we throw him in with 2 days training. Do you know what I mean? So it's as a football club, it's unprofessional. It might be a great business strategy. We might come. I do have a sneaky feeling we'll spend a good bit of dough in the between now and the close of play. But Jason's on the button, and you're on the button. See if we make what. See on Sunday there, we could easily draw the game, because you think about it, when we've had strength off the bench has often won us a game, and the bench won us the game of the weekend there. But it was a wee bit too close for comfort. Now, if we get to the point that we're putting Champions League qualification on, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy then, isn't it? Because Peter Law said to us, we're keeping money in the bank because we won't always be in the Champions League. Whereas we're going to come back and say we're not in the Champions League because you kept all that money in the fucking bank. And Peter Law also said, that every penny made by Celtic would be spent in Celtic. But we're at a point, we've all asked a question. Every podcast is asking a question. You guys asked a question last week. What are you doing with that big pot of money? Because it's coming to the point we do not trust you now. And you're getting the bounce back. It's still a fair bit away for a whole fucking, but you're getting to a point going, well, what's the fucking point? Because we look to make money over. See, at this stage, especially if they're crowing on about the dough in the bank, we really shouldn't be waiting for guys to move before we sign the replacement. We shouldn't be, but I think, and to finish my point, guys, and I've already said this to you, so, and I've probably said it online, and my mates who I'm drink with have fucking heard me say it ad nauseum. I believe we're at a stage where we've got a stale owner and a stale board of directors who think they know better than us, and they do know better than us, but their approach has worked in the past. It's delivered trophies, and I think their approach will remain the same until something changes. And I am finished.
Very valid points. You've kind of described their approach being sort of risk management to a degree, but it's also more like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
But see the thing, that the overpaying thing, and I totally agree, people need to get out of it. It doesn't come out of our pocket, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we've oversold a ton of times. You know, the money that they've got in for players, some of it's been wild. You know, so at the end of the day, they've made much more money on transfers than they've lost. So they can't grumble, and then you take a step back and say, we probably can't grumble because of the way they run the club. But as a fan, you want to see the best talent possible on the park, and we're a fair bit away from that at the minute. But the frustration there, J-Bo, though, does come with. I mean, Marty explained it recently, and he says obviously our wage bill has increased as our level of player has increased, and has that put the shiters up them? Because let's be honest with it, we could run through that fucking pile of money we've got in the, but the fact of the matter is, if you go and do your job correctly, that money will keep coming. And to start shiting it and kind of going, oh, do you know what? Oh, we might make it in, so we've got to keep this away. Or a mate of mine come out and says, see if they just come out and tell us, by the way, we're keeping this whole load of money because we're going to build this museum or this hotel. At least you kind of go, all right, there's an infrastructure for the team, but it's this whole bag of nothingness we get. We get genuinely no feedback. When's the last, you said it ages ago, when's the last time Nicholson speak to us? The only person speaking to us are the players and Brendan Rodgers. Aye.
It's the only person.
Do you know, I think a big thing they're probably thinking about as well is, I think it's the year after next with the Champions League. You're talking about we're starting.
Yeah.
Like, if you win the league, you've got 3 qualifiers to get into it. You know, Scottish football's 4.5. So Hibs are winning the now. Dundee United look as if they're probably going to get beat. So the way it's looking, like you've got us, that lot, and Hibs, maybe in Europe, in group stages, and whether they're in the Champions League or whether they're in the Europa League. But I can't see the coefficient going up much next year. So the big certainty, you would think, is that I think it's the year after next, isn't it? The Scottish teams.
I think so, yeah.
The winner of the Premier League. So that'll be in the back of their mind. Because if it's easy saying, but if you were guaranteed the winner of the Scottish Premiership was straight into the Champions League group stages every year, then I think us and them would spend a lot more money. But when you've only got a chance to get into the Champions League, and the drop-off to Europa League compared to Champions League money is massive. You know, it could be 30 million quid or whatever, 30, 35 million pound difference. And it's a hell of a lot of money. And that's the way they'll probably be looking at it, because signing guys like KT on 5-year deals on 30 to 40 grand a week, no idea what he's getting, but I would guess it would be something like that. Get Callum McGregor on a big wage, I would think Carter Vickers would be a big wage, Jota would be a big wage. Maida will get a new deal, you know, and you would think to yourself, they'll have a load of players that are on 25 plus a week, and that'll not sit well with them. But you have to pay that if you want to compete. And I mean, at the end of the day, Tony Bloom's come into Hearts. He'll start spending a bit of money. Hibs look as if they'll get a decent side this year. Aberdeen looked no bad against Hearts. It could have went either way. They were kind of wasteful. So it's good for Scottish football. And you need to be on your toes. But the team that we've got, let's face it, if we don't get any more signings in, can we win the league this year? 100%. Would we make any dent in Europe whatsoever? Can't see it at all. Just can't see it. With Ida and Johnny Kenny up front, no. Just not going to happen. And Yang in the wing, Yang or Forrest and Maid in the other wing. It's just. I think Scottish football will be all right, but we definitely need to get signings in.
That's kind of what I came away with on Sunday, going like, that doesn't look. I'm not super excited about what's coming next. Like, I mean, and the only other option would be a complete transformation of the actual 11 on the park that you're seeing now. Not all of them, but the kind of key areas, like, you know, the wingers and your strikers. Right? But that's going to take a lot of dough. And Scott, I hope you're right. And we do spend that dough, but it all just seems like it's. I don't know. It seems like it's heading towards mediocrity to some degree, unless something big happens. And I don't know if something big can happen.
See the defence in the midfield. I'm kind of all right with it.
That's fine.
I think the defence in the midfield's good.
But I know, but the penetration on Sunday, like no fucking fault. I mean, St Mirren put up a good fight. They played well. I thought they did really well. But in terms of creativity, in terms of moving forward and penetration, like around the box and in the box, Ida missed some pretty decent chances. I mean, he was half a yard off a lot of it, and overall, it just seemed like a bit of a side-to-side back and forth. I just wasn't really inspired by it. I mean, if 70%, I'd say I was kind of going like this is a team that's entertaining.
I think I said to Liam straight after the game, I was like, it's probably the perfect result and performance for Rodgers, because you can see the glaring inadequacies we've got in the field, but we still get the 3 points. So no damage was done, but it's kind of, the board should be saying, we really need to strengthen this. We really need to strengthen it. And if Jota wasn't injured, wouldn't look anywhere near as bad, but he is. If Jota wasn't injured, he could be in the wing, Maida could be up front, and he could be bringing Ida off the bench. I think Ida off the bench is pretty good. But you're kind of forced to play Maida at wing.
Defence played well, but I thought Scales was very good.
I thought Scales was excellent, but at the end of the day, you've got to say St Mirren didn't really test as much. You know, they just set up their shape and made it really hard to play against. So it was kind of easy to defend against them. You know,
I thought St Mirren were much better in the one each game last game of the season in an attacking way. I kind of causes
100%,
a lot more problems. But I thought we were much better as well. That's probably a reaction. I thought we were much better at the weekend there. Celtic should have, in my opinion, Celtic should have won 3 or 4-0 the other day. Right?
I didn't think it was that bad.
They scored early. But again, to get back to my point is, we've weakened the team. There's no doubt about it. Nobody can argue. We've weakened the team through choice, through not so choice, and no having a strong bench, even in Scotland, is a weakness considering we've got the 5 subs. It's such a benefit for Celtic, and we're kind of hurting ourselves. We really are. Like I say, you've heard me say it. The fact we're holding on to Tillio just is a shambles. Is a fucking shambles. Do you know what it's a shambles? It's a shambles, a youth system we've got as well. That will get nobody better than fucking Tillio.
But isn't Tillio a kind of result of the City Group connection, essentially, isn't he?
He wasn't even on the bench at the weekend, but
no, I know, but the fact we're holding on to him,
I know we're not selling him.
The optics are fucking ming mong.
And see another one, Paulo Bernardo. He's kind of fell off a cliff, isn't he? What's the point in him now? Because
we did query it last season, at the end of last season, didn't we? We did query where's he going, because everybody rates him. You can speak to anybody, they all rate him, but last season he done nothing practically, did
he? To be fair to him, he didn't really get much chances. He didn't get a run in the games. He didn't get many starts in a row. I don't know if he got any starts in a row. Maybe got a couple, but it must be really hard. But he's obviously not doing it in training. But so much promise, and he's got an eye for a goal as well, and he looks like a real good player, but he just seems to have fell off a cliff. And we're signing Nygren. He's kind of looking. I thought he looked all right at the weekend. I think he'll get better. I think he's got a goal in him. He was unlucky that one in the first half. So, and I thought Engels when he came on was good, And I think in Nygren, Engels there, and Luke McCowan. I mean, Luke McCowan, he's been a dream signing for us. He's kind of the perfect player. Like Celtic supporter for Scotland, didn't cost you that much money. He'll no be earning a king's ransom. Happy to be here and happy to chip in whenever he's needed, and he's effective and he'll get you goals. So he's a brilliant player. But I think in midfield, if they can stay fit with Atati, McGregor, and then Nygren or Engels, I think that's really good. And I think Engels will fight his way back into the team. I think this will be a big season for him. I rate the kid, and I think he'll be a good one. But it's just everything for me, or the worry is the wingers and up front. Because the amount of goals we get for the wings and for the forwards, and we're kind of, it's one game of the season, right? But you can kind of see they're a bit disjointed. So
there was a couple of slacks, or not slack passes, but like miscommunications. A good few of them, like in the game. I mean, just playing balls forward, nobody's picking them up. There was a good few of those, and that's it's kind of worrying to see, because it kind of becomes scrappy and you kind of backtrack. But I thought McGregor was very, very good. The midfield was great.
I think Sunday will be totally different, because Aberdeen at home, they'll try and play against us, and you'll get space. And obviously we've been up there in some stinking games, but we've also been up there and played really well. And I think Sunday should be a decent test, and you would like to think we would have a bit more space, because we definitely found it hard to break St Mirren down. And fair play to them, they set their stall out. They didn't really show much in attacking front, but they kept their shape perfect. And when you just watch the game, they were always in their shape. They very rarely get dragged out it. And it was a competent performance for them, and they would be devastated not to get away with a point, which I think we deserve to win. I don't think they deserved a point, but it's real. We've seen it a load of times. We kind of struggle to break teams like that down. As you said, Scott, the last game of the season, albeit the league's won, etc., but you're wanting to go out and away a bang, and they were probably the better team. You know,
Yeah.
we were horrible. They played really well, and they probably deserved to beat us. But it was a different kettle of fish Sunday. I'd say we were the better team by a country mile, but we just didn't have many clear-cut chances, and we didn't miss many sitters. We hit the, I think we hit the woodwork 3 times, but at the end of the day, that's no shot on target. So their keeper didn't have any worldly save to make or anything like that. But aye, we got the job done. Happy days, and aye, it's you're kind of in purgatory there, aren't you? With the 2 weeks to go to the transfer window, you just don't know what it's going to look like between now and then. And aye. I don't know. Just wrap the pod up now.
The thing is, right? See, you have such your man in the chat is on the button. He's saying we have loads of midfielders, right, who are all got quality in them, but none of them. I mean, like I'm saying, we've got Hatate, we've got McCowan, we've got McGregor, we've got Negrin, we've got Engels, Bernardo. And if every one of them are on top form, that's fucking excellent. Like one coming out, one coming in. But nobody's Engels, Negrin's ended up in front of Engels, which I think's a wee bit harsh. I think Engels done well to come on.
I do.
I can understand why you would want to play him at home against St Mirren. Makes sense. Bernardo is now fell behind McCowan, which and we saw McCowan getting a start, and it's not really worked for him either. I mean, the Hibs game's always used as a stick to batter him, the Hibs away one. So I don't know. It's just, as you say, the purgatory is kind of where we're sitting now. Every story that comes out seems to be kind of, and I don't know if the media are lumping on, but they're linking us with players, and the next line, you just know it's coming. Celtic are interested in this guy, but it's to be said that Celtic are no bid enough every time. So you're kind of going, oh. And then all this stuff about the banners all ripped and no up and stuff like that. For a team coming out a double, man, it just seems to be fucking hell, man.
I know.
Aye. Like, I don't know. It definitely needs something to get everybody going. And
do you know what it needs, Scott? It needs a 3-game suspended ban. That's what it needs to get everybody really in the mood.
Yeah,
that's what it needs.
Did you talk about that last week?
No, because it hadn't been.
Happened that last week.
Hadn't been announced. It was
because that's how you set. That's how you set hearts on the start of the season. You threaten people. You threaten people en masse. That's how you get the fucking crowd behind you.
Last week they were saying that. I knew I'm remembering last week. Remember, there was a kind of intimation that Nicholson wanted them banned, and then it all kind of came out. And then obviously we've heard we're getting done for 200 fans from that position. Oh, good time, man. So, if we're getting happy, talk about the Huns drop points and we beat St Mirren.
Big pussy galore's arrived.
Aye, big pussy galore.
Honestly, guys, right, and it's no fair, and I know I'm trying to kind of stay positive in the whole thing, and I think we'll get guys in, but I just don't see the point in this one. Liam was kind of frustrated at it, but it does seem to intimate something's good out. Do you see it that way?
Aye, well, you're sitting now with CCV, Trusty, Scales. Your man Dane Murray done well in pre-season, and now you've got him as well. So you're maybe, I know Marty champions the line that you can't have enough centre halves, but maybe, and see the thing is, do you think Man City would send, like, by all accounts, he's well thought of, and they've got high hopes for him, right? Do you think they would send somebody like that up where Celtic could just sit him on the bench?
No, I don't.
No, me
And
either.
then so we send him up the road to play, and he's a right fitted player, and we've made this big fucking hullabaloo about having left fitted players playing on the left. So what if I'm putting 2 and 2 together here? What you know what I mean? And is that going to lead to more happiness for these guys?
Oh my God. That doesn't bear thinking about.
Exactly. Why would
But,
that?
but the Celtic model for cashing in, it kind of sits perfect, doesn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, from a Champions League perspective, it probably wouldn't do as much damage because they very rarely bloody played in any Champions League games. But in Scotland, he's just a warrior for us. You know, maybe one of the most important players in the team. And if you're to lose CCV, but I don't know. I've not heard anything.
I think his injury, the fact that his injuries
What's happened to Liam? Has he just gave up?
I'm just.
I think
listening intently, mate.
I think his injuries may do that sort of possibility damage, but I also think the fact, like you say, just he is a warrior and he has battled through. Like when he's one of them players that he'll be injured when he comes back. You get him at 110% immediately. I mean, and he'll fucking put it all on the lane, and then he might go injured again for a period of time, but he'll come back and it'll be the exact same player. That obviously plays in his favor. But again, I would like to think that the injury situation may play in our favor to hang on to him, but who the fuck knows? Like you
certainly wouldn't get top money from, you know. I don't think he'd be going for any like a Riley money or that. I don't think.
No. Well, where would you see him going if he did go?
Where would you see him?
I
don't mean club ways. I mean like league ways or country ways. Like
I'll say.
Tom Brady's Blues, baby. Tom Brady's Blues.
The English Premiership, I think, a lower level team there, like an Everton or something like that. But
do you know what? That's actually a really good shoot. I think that's fucking bang on.
And you'd be looking, but you'd maybe give it 10 million for him, you would think.
I think that'd be fair.
But at the end of the day, there's no player bigger than the club. If he does want out and he's want another challenge, then see you later. But yeah, you'd be gutted to see him go.
Here's the thing, though. We've never really done bad out of a fucking loan team at Man City, have we? Is there anybody that hasn't worked out?
Alzani.
Well, that's kind of different. He got ruthlessly fucked on his debut, did he not? No.
Was it Dens Park, wasn't it? Was it?
He
played well at Dens Park.
He was
game or something.
But
he played for 14 minutes and Joe proclaimed him the new fucking top.
But then he got crunched, and that was the end of that.
He did look good, to be fair.
Well, Jason said Raphael Shea got good because he only played 15 minutes.
He should have got crunched.
Much maligned.
The much maligned. Even got him on the pod tonight, boys.
I reckon Raphael Shea, we can get him on the pod.
Since I started championing his case, I think a load of folk have actually said to me, do you know what? I thought he played a load for us, like fucking 3 games or something. But I don't, Scott, back to your answer with CCV, I hadn't really thought it, to be honest with you. But who knows? I'm not really want to think about that, but if I have,
I know. I keep thinking about it, and I'm thinking about the guys we get in, but then like people always remind me. It's Peter Hughes and Knight fucking reminding me. You know what I mean? How he's like,
we'll just go through my head.
He said seemingly he's one. No, how the fuck did he find that out?
The same way we found out he was staying. Just remember the time we found out he was staying because some fucking tailor was delivering tails to his house.
Aye. That's I gave his the news. My Ida was staying because he's enrolled these kids at the school at the nursery.
I love shit like that.
My mate's his sister's a teacher.
It makes me laugh. Brilliant. I'm going through the Man City loans here. Who didn't work out? Guidetti worked out, right? Denier.
Paddy Roberts
worked out.
Guidetti was 50-50, what? until
I fucking that he was good when he was good.
I bet he ended up rotten.
He did. He started off like a trade.
Remember we won the cup.
I know, but
fucking...
he was an arrogant, egotistical maniac. Like, I mean, that's fair enough. But I mean,
Joe, that's part of a fucking deal, man. You can't just say it was magic for fucking fun.
I know.
This is Arzani shit again.
I know. But you gotta think at the time that he played there, had he not turned up, it would have been fucking way worse.
So had he been brilliant, it would have been a good one. You're right.
All right, but listen, personal, like, separate the art from the artist, Scott. Let's go. I mean, come on. I mean, the guy was a cunt, but he
was thinking on some Gary Gladden about
You've trusted my words there, Scott, and maybe said
Paddy Roberts was good.
Jason Denier.
Jason Denier's the one straight away, but I'm saying Paddy Roberts was good.
So hopefully this guy is the new Jason Denier. He's got the same haircut, so fucking we're on a winner.
There is no chance of buying him, but isn't there?
No. So we're really bumping up somebody else's player.
But in the other side of the coin, was it Strachan say that? And he made a great point. He says, if you get these guys on loan for a year, it's a guy you probably could never assign. So you just enjoy them while they're there. You know? So, see, at the end of the day, see if he comes in and he's absolutely outstanding, happy days. You know?
And again, you have to make peace. You make your peace with that. Like, some people get annoyed by that and go like, we shouldn't be fucking doing this, shouldn't we doing that? And going like, well, that's the fucking way it is, mate. I mean, that's just the way that it is. I mean, you get what you get, you don't get upset.
What a fucking thing you see in a podcast, where fans can fucking... By the way, you just shut up.
Don't get upset.
What are you all moaning about?
Like I said last week, Celtic saying Kieran Tierney and then went, are you not entertained? Is this not enough?
So
it's £25 million boomerang.
We never even mentioned Katie's debut. So what did he think?
Thought he was good. Thought he was the best player in the first half on Sunday.
Thought it was really good. And I think, see, when he gets up to speed and they get an understanding between him and the forward players, because some of his through balls and his wee chips and stuff like that, you know, really, really good. And his crossing is outstanding. You know, see when he hits that byline, it's pinpoint. You know, so really good.
Do you know what I noticed about him as a player now, coming back? Do you remember when he was younger? He was always able to kind of like, he would sort of shield the ball, player behind him. He'd be able to feint one way and then take the ball back across the player, right? But it always seemed dead fucking sharp and dead sort of anxious and dead quick. See now, it's like smooth as butter. I mean, it's just what he does. I mean, and you watch it and you go, that is the sign of a guy that's leveled up.
Aye, definitely, without a doubt.
He's not injured, is he? There's nothing wrong with him. I know he went off.
No, cramp.
Right, good.
Aye. I was shitting myself.
Aye.
But no, it was just cramp. So obviously that's his first competitive game for how long, you know, starting.
Yeah.
And so
I did shit a brick when that happened. I was like, oh fuck.
Aye, and obviously he'd be excited as fuck and he'd be up to high dough. You know, but aye. You
can imagine all the begrudgers rubbing their hands at the thought of him being injured first game. Do you know what I mean? They told you so.
Yeah, honey guys, aye.
Fucking hell, man.
Tell you.
I thought it was really good.
I said, fucking foghorn, leghorn, cunts.
But I thought it was really, really good, and I just think once he gets an understanding way, if it's Maeda or whatever, you know, it's just take a wee bit of time. But I think that'll be a very fruitful, whoever's playing in the left wing, you know, will be a fruitful kind of relationship. But he definitely doesn't cut inside like Greg Taylor. He kind of sticks to that.
Yeah.
But his vision for a pass forward, when he gets even into the middle third, is phenomenal.
And it's the weight of the pass and all.
Yeah. And that's again another saying that he's just fucking gone from like the guy that left Celtic to the guy that is now fucking a top level player.
Yeah. See, like the point you're making earlier, Jason. See, if you look at the team: Schmeichel, Tierney, Scales or Trusty, Carter Vickers, Johnson, McGregor, Hatate, Engels, or Negrin, Maeda. That's 9 really, really good players. Do you know what I mean? That's a really good team for us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need a wing on the forward, and I'm happy.
It's a strong team, even for Champions League. That's a good, strong team for us, really. We just don't have the depth, or we don't have them options at the top just now.
But see, do you really think so, Liam? Because I think if you're say that starting 11 there, get into a Champions League game, and you never know, Yang's got it in his locker to be a good player, but he just doesn't show it. When he starts games, he's hot and cold, and he shouldn't be a starter for Celtic.
No, I mean the 9 are good for the Champions League.
Yes,
not or just a 9. That's strong for the Champions League.
But we definitely need another 2. We definitely need another 2, and minimum. But we'll wait and see, because you can't go into a Champions League game. I mean, we kind of landed pretty fortunate last year with the draw, but it could go the other way this year, and it's ruthless, And if you're going to get 3 chances a game, 4 chances a game, Big Ida, if he's missing 2, I don't know. It's just we need a striker. But the thing is, are we going to get like a top class striker? I mean, top class for Celtic. What are we talking? They must be out there, like in the Scandinavian leagues and whatever. There must be players out there that will come to us. But we spoke last week about the Aaron Moy model and getting some old heads in for a season, but Celtic don't seem to be going down that road. Just get somebody, pay them fucking 50 grand a week for a year, and see where it takes us. But I just don't think they'll do that. I mean, Johnny Kenny will know day. He's a decent player. You could play him up front in the SPL and we could potentially win the league. He could turn out to be a good gin, but I don't know about you. I just don't.
No.
With your 2 forwards, him and Ida, come on, we need better.
I think Rodgers showed him a little bit of respect over the summer by bringing him on as a first sub on Sunday, but I think everybody was looking for Yamada to come on and see what he was made of. So, be interesting to see if he features at some point on Sunday. I mean, I said last week, either needs to have a big performance or that could be him out of the team. I wasn't meaning that's the end of his career, but he did nothing really to convince anyone, did he, on Sunday that he's going to be the main man for Celtic.
And it's hard, 12 minutes. They get 12 minutes, do you know?
No, Ida, sorry. Ida. Last week. Yeah, Ida. Right. He did a big game on Sunday, I thought, to keep himself in contention. But I thought he did. I thought he used his body really well for the one he hit off the post, but he can't be missing. He can't be missing from there. Do you know what I mean?
No. Well, here's my biggest criticism, of Ida at the weekend is like the chances that were presented to him require a versatile finisher, and he doesn't have that. I mean, Kyogo would have finished a good few of those chances. He would have. Ida can't take some of those snap chances, those quick balls across the box, those snap. He can't take them. I mean, isn't doing wrong. He's a good finisher. He can score goals, but not chances that were presented to him on Sunday. That he just wasn't capable.
I do see your point there, Joe. To be fair, because he kind of blast Severn, didn't he? See, like Kyogo could chip them. He could do this. He could. Could do whatever.
And Kyogo could head the ball in tight spaces and finish. You know what I mean? Because I suppose his movement was much better. He's very slight. I suppose he's kind of, in many ways, if you're a defender, you kind of lose sight of him because he's so quick and agile. Ida's not that guy. He's a big brute of a dude. You know what I mean? And yeah, you're right. Maybe he uses his body well, but I mean, to what end are we talking here?
Yeah, and the thing is, right? When you play football, you know this, right? If you take a ball like that on your chest and you're in front of the goal, right, all you want to do is fucking leather it right into the top corner. But that's us fucking pissheads playing on a park. Do you know what I mean? When you're at that level of a striker, you've got to make sure that's on target and it's buried in the back of the net. It's interesting what you say about the fact he always blasts the ball. I listened to that open goal the other day with Kemar Roof on, who was fucking dull. dull as dishwater, man.
Oh, it was terrible, wasn't it?
Oh,
Fucking hell, man.
I just seen that. I actually listened to the Jermaine Defoe one, which was brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't listened to him. He speaks well, but your man Roof was fucking really bland. But just it was something interesting they said about taking. Asked him about Aaron Ramsey missing that penalty, and Roof went, "No, I didn't fancy him for it." He said he's not that good at penalties. And then I think it was Halliday piped up and said in the cup final, that one Morelos missed. Remember when we beat him 1-0 in the final? He said none of us fancied him at all. He said he's not a technical player in terms of, like he puts the ball in the top corner, but whatever. He just bladders it every time he's fucking anywhere in front of goal, which is quite interesting. I've never really seen that with either, but it's, when you think back, he kind of does do a lot of that, doesn't he? Really, whereas Kyogo's got a whole range of finishing.
Aye. And the key for any striker is you say you need to get it in target.
Yeah.
How many did McCoy score that were fucking through the fucking keeper's legs or whatever, hit them. But get them in target and make the keeper make the save, and when you're in front of goal, whatever way you hit it, as long as it's in target, it's got a chance to get in. And as I say, we hit the woodwork 3 times, but when you hit the woodwork, it's no in target. So
Negrin should have scored, shouldn't he? I mean, Negrin, he got a good connection on it, but he should have scored it from there. Really, the keeper, pure luck.
And what the one for me was, and to your point about Maeda, right? I know it's the first game of the season, but that one he's through in the left, he's got to put that into the empty net, and he's fucking thumped it across the goal. It's at a tight angle, but surely he should be able to roll that in the net.
See, I thought he did shoot. Did he shoot or did he cross? I was unsure. I thought he shot.
Straight across the middle.
I thought it was too. It was on his left foot, and it was too narrow for me. That one was. He was.
I think so, Liam. But the goalie's away half his line. All you need to do is roll it, and if it's in target, it's a goal.
The angles are cute, but it isn't that. But it's not Henrik Larsson or Ibrox.
Yeah.
You need to play that to the goal. Definitely.
He's not brilliant on his left foot. Do you know what I mean? You've seen that he's improved it an awful lot in terms of his crossing and stuff. But that's not a natural finish for him from that sort of angle. Really, I thought it was. I thought it was a bit tight personally.
Aye.
A bit difficult. But then he did kind of cross it across. But Yang wasn't kind of up with play, and Ida was nowhere really to be seen. Kind of being level with him, but he's probably too fast for those guys. And the one he had at the end of the game where he went clean through that defender. That was amazing, man. How he got back and fucking blocked that.
Oh, what a challenge that was for the big lad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
with the speed of him, outstanding. See his actual challenge. He's no even touch Maeda, but he's just slid to perfection to actually gamble that's where the ball's going to go. Yeah. Oh, it was tremendous.
Even the fact he made that run at that point in the game, do you know what I mean? That says a lot probably about St Mirren and Steve Robinson, the way he's got that team playing. That was fucking unbelievable, man.
Do you know what? Do you know? I think he's the kind of manager, right? And it's a wonder why he doesn't get touted for bigger clubs, because he's kind of done well everywhere he's went. And it's, do you know, there's a wee bit in me, see, like certain McInnes has now got the move to Hearts, right? We'll see what he's getting made of, and obviously they're getting backed, so you'll kind of see. But he's been with Aberdeen, so he's had a shot at a kind of a big club in a sense. But Stephen Robinson, he's not really had that chance. And he's a great manager. But these guys get pigeonholed into only being able to manage with teams where you have got a budget, you've got constraints, they can get the best out of it. And do you know, I think it's a shame for them, because you never know how good they could be.
He comes across very well, doesn't he? He comes across very well. He speaks very well. He's not a fucking lunatic. I mean, he's very rational.
Do you know, Scott, I wouldn't mind your opinion on this. Do you know how
we'll fucking jump the date when we're feeling sorry for Stephen Robinson, aren't we? Fuck's sake, man. I done my thing with Chris the other day when we were talking about him. So it's St Mirren, since he took over for Goodwin when he went to Aberdeen, he's finished in the top 6 every year, every full season. Which, I mean, how are you no value in that? As you say, he's typecast, but he's certainly got a style of football. again, talking my one-on-one I done with Tommy this afternoon, we're talking about the Wrexham manager. Now, I know people don't kind of roll their eyes sometimes when you talk about Wrexham, but Joe, you watched the whole thing.
Loved it.
His football can't be fucking described as Guardiola-esque. Do you know what I mean? It's really much, he builds a team, and it's not dissimilar to Robinson. Robinson's a good manager. And then anybody that says otherwise, fucking idiot, to be honest. He's would you want him as manager of Celtic? No, because of that style of football he plays. And I don't know if he can transfer that to our level. But you do wonder why. I mean, let's be honest about it. And when it comes down between him and McInnes seemed to be rated so fucking highly, and Robinson was a second thought. Whereas Robinson's really today's man rather than McInnes, isn't he? You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see what happens, to be honest. As I said on my podcast, I was very surprised he was still there. I thought he would have fitted into Hearts easy peasy, you know what I mean?
Aye. And it's not even that. It's like, I'm not saying the English Premiership, but you would think like your Sheffield Uniteds and stuff like that. It's even got Pye and Chris Wilder. You'd think they'd be looking at guys like him. You know, like it kind of beggars belief at times. And these guys are kind of young in a sense. It's not like the old days of Jimmy Calderwood and the old managerial merry-go-round like the Jim Jeffries and that. You know, you would just right, we've not got a manager, we've got one of them's available, get them in. Yeah. You just think these guys just get denied the chance. I don't know if it's a better agent or whatever, how it works.
Where was he went down in England? Was it Morecambe? It didn't seem to go well for him down in Morecambe after Motherwell. Because he done a great job at Motherwell as well, didn't he?
Aye, he did. Aye. Aye. It's a weird one. But these teams are well set up. You know, he knows how to win a game. He knows how to get a point and win a game of football. And for a team like St Mirren to finish in the top 6 every year that he's been the manager, it's unreal.
It's well done.
Yeah, I know it's not pretty to watch. I think they've been really good against us these last 2 games.
They have.
You know what I mean? Like the work rate, the discipline, the shape, the commitment and everything. I know it's not what we want to see, right? But it's what you're going to expect of them. But I think they've been really impressive. I'm actually pretty disappointed that it looks like the Huns are going to cancel the game against them. They get through, well, they're pretty much sure, aren't they? In a couple of weeks' time, because I think that would be a really difficult game for them, away game.
Oh, what's that? How do you get the right now to cancel a game if you're in Europe?
Right. Yeah, so say the 23rd when we're at home to Livingston because it's between it's between the first and the second leg of the last qualifier. Anybody, it's a new rule they're putting this season. Anybody can cancel a game. So Hibs have said they're going to do it if they're through. Aberdeen are going to do it. Rangers said they're going to do it, and Celtic said they're not going to do it, which I'm pleased with personally. I don't know what you guys think, but
do you know what? I remember it being mooted. I think it's a right good forward step for the SFA to allow that, because without a doubt, because you'd be seeing like your Dutch teams, etc., you know, getting well rested before they would play like us, and we're kind of playing games. So fair enough to Celtic, big enough squad and that, and they're playing at home to Livingston, so you would think we could potentially maybe rest a couple of players if we needed, which is fine. But if you were playing, say you were playing away to Rangers, you know, between that, you would probably happy to cancel it. You know,
it's a sensible move, isn't it? It's sensible to put it up there in the start of the season to every club rather than have this whole single clubs applying and causing all that.
Yep.
You know, when we don't extend the league and we finish on a Thursday, you know, avoiding that scenario sort of thing. As we had back in the day. But no, I mean, I'm glad we're playing Livingston. I think not embarrassing, but I think we shouldn't be cancelling a home game against kind of a team like that. But I don't know if you think differently, that we should have maybe give ourselves that, because we're going to be away, aren't we, in that the following game?
Well, it depends who gets through. If it's that Almaty, fuck's sake,
obviously, where the fuck is that, by the way?
It's the Chinese border.
How the fuck is that the UEFA?
It's further east than Pakistan.
So is it not because it was part of Russia at one point in time? How it qualifies? Yeah.
It was part of the USSR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking 3-day camel hike.
It's probably the furthest away game you can possibly play in Europe.
Yeah. Looking at the thing you shared, Jason, you could go to Mumbai. You could have a few days in Mumbai around the game. It's that far over there.
Moscow's halfway there.
What?
Aye. Moscow is halfway there.
Fuck.
Magoo's already got a pass. He's gone.
So what did you say their trip is, Jason? Would it be London, Istanbul?
Well, you could fly. You could go Edinburgh, Istanbul.
Right. Istanbul.
So, aye. The flights that I checked out, there was one at 500. It was to Bristol, then Istanbul, and then it was on the way back. It was Istanbul and Edinburgh. But that was 500 odd. But the one going from Edinburgh to Istanbul to Almaty, and then Almaty Istanbul back was 750.
How far is it from Istanbul to Almaty?
Well, you're not even halfway there.
Wow, fucking hell, man!
And you're talking, you would have a heavy duty layover.
Yeah.
You would have a heavy duty layover to get to Istanbul. He's a wee second. I'll check our chat where I've checked. Obviously, I'll not be going. But
I didn't watch any of the game, but I think what they're saying, they've got a 16-year-old centre forward playing as signing for Chelsea. It's already agreed. I think.
Is that right?
Brazilian fellow, yeah.
Aye, so the flights I checked, so you believe leaving Edinburgh at 8:50 in the morning, and you would arrive there at 4:15.
Dundee United just equalised.
Okay. Right. You'd be leaving Edinburgh at 8:50 in the morning. You'd be arriving at Almaty at 4:15 the following morning.
There's 4 hours difference as well. So I don't know which way that goes.
15 hours, 25 minutes to get there. And the way back, 12 hours, 40 minutes. You leave Almaty at 3:15 in the night and early in the morning, and you would get home at 12 in the afternoon. 12 hours, 40 minutes to get home. Obviously, with the time difference. So
I already fancied the qualifier this season, but I'm not going to make it this time. But
the thing is, probably Slovan maybe beat them. There's only 1-0.
Slovan should beat them. But I mean, because the thing is, that mob who you're saying, their home leg's always been the second, and they've turned it around in the second, and they obviously with the distance and the fucking all that part. So Slovan should, but I mean, you never know. I hope Slovan beat them. The thing is, Slovan's like fucking 33 coefficient, and this mob are like 6 coefficient. So logically, you'd want the shitty team, but they seem to be fucking doing all right.
2-0 to Hibs, by the way.
But I think you've got a man saying half, eh?
They have. Check.
What's the travel for Bratislava? What's the route for that one?
That's easy. You can either fly there or fly to Vienna. It's dead close to Vienna.
Right. Okay.
Aye.
It's right. It's an hour thing away. There's plenty of ways to get there. I mean,
tons.
A lot of people I know have took a wee gamble already, but we'll see.
Would you go to that, Liam?
It's definitely more achievable, isn't it?
The great weather as well. The roasting.
Yeah, I'd love to go to something a bit more random like that, but yeah, we'll see.
Maybe that's two cracking results for Scottish clubs, by the way. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Still 15 to go for, because Rapid have been pulling them apart, but United have hit them well, man. Keep it going, guys.
Did you say Partizan at the man centre?
Aye.
I don't see it.
No, it was on the huddle ball, but it doesn't show on the live score or whatever it is. I've been looking for that.
Vukas and Durcevic got a yellow card in the 29th and then a yellow card in the 34th.
All right, I've not updated.
And then Hibs scored in the 40th.
So this is the conference qualifiers, isn't it? They're in now.
Two of them.
Yeah.
Two of them. So they need to win. They need to qualify because they're out, obviously.
Because do you know what we never mentioned, right? In the aftermath of losing the cup final, which obviously it's not our concern, but right? Think about Hibs, right? That they were fucking before that cup
I
final,
know.
thinking we're guaranteed
They were in the group stages.
group stage, guaranteed 5 million. Celtic have never lost at Hampden under Brendan Rodgers. Fucking battered Aberdeen. I know we were gutted, but fucking think how they were feeling as well on the back of that. Fucking madness, man.
Yep.
You'd have staked your life on that, wouldn't you, really?
So Aberdeen are in the group stages.
I think they got a Europa League.
They've got a
qualifier.
playoff, mate.
Yeah.
So they'll end up there in Europa. So if they get beat in that playoff, they'll just stay in the conference groups.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed. Then you're talking Scottish football could have 6 teams playing in the group, 5 teams playing in the group stages this year.
Yeah.
And that would make a difference to that following year, Jason.
Totally would.
I didn't even think
about that. I'd forgot about Aberdeen because I'm just thinking the teams that are playing now. I forgot about Aberdeen. That would make a massive difference. If
the frustrating thing is in that Europa game against Michelin, fucking Hibs were doing
2-0 up. Should have been 2-0 up earlier.
But remember, it won't help next season. It will help the season after.
No, that's what I'm saying. But that was the season Jason's talking about.
Oh, right. Okay. That's when you need it. Right. Got you.
Next season's already set in stone. It's the following season.
Next season.
Because right now we're fucking tipped to, as Jason again was saying, we're tipped to be getting into the second qualifier a la the Huns this year. Because like Copenhagen and all that playing in it.
Yeah.
I know.
I guess the most important question is, Scott, are you going to go meet your pal from Bruges? that
was the funniest moment last season. Honest to God.
Brilliant.
Breathe, man.
Still absolutely
Get him on the show, Scott, if they get through. They both
it'll be better City for that game, I think.
Exactly.
His wee flag will be a bit more appreciated.
Oh, that Rob's fans, but they're just bipolar now, aren't they? They're just total like after the Motherwell game, right? He'll be sacked, you know. No, we were fucking.
Who did he have this weekend, Dundee? Dundee Saturday afternoon, is that correct?
Dundee.
Yeah, got really easy games coming up. Then they got Dundee, and then the return leg, and then who they get in the cups? They got the lowest ranked team in the cup as well.
No, Alloa, is it? Is it Alloa?
Could be, yeah.
But that's I put them on. I actually did watch the Motherwell game as well, but I put them on the other night and tore that Pilsen apart and tore them apart. Some of the football was pretty good. I'll give them a fucking due, the rats.
Pilsen were fucking awful though.
They were awful, man.
Fucking. I watched the first half and then the Huns scored as they got that off. And
that'll do, donkey. That'll do it.
I've seen better football across the road.
What do you know about fucking good football? You've been sacked, mate.
I have sacked my volunteer position.
Listen, I'm like you, Mr. Martin. He's really grown on me, I've got to be honest. I like the fact that he critiques from a position of love as well. I think that's really impressive. He's a good man.
Do you know what, boy? He's no bad to listen to. I don't know whether he comes across all right, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. But they're just all over the place. You know,
the thing we've got to realise, right? Celtic fans need to chill out because I can see if we're no streaking away, cunts will be going to do Wally. This is because of that, because of this. See the Huns last season. The Huns last season were that much of a carry on. I equate it to when. Do you remember we finished third or fourth? Motherwell finished above us the Hampden year. Remember? And we were just the Huns could have fucking played with no draw zone and they would have fucking rocked that league, man.
Beat 3-0 that time.
If the beats 3-0, they're laughing. I mean,
they were laughing. I think it was the last time they played them. We were all celebrating like we won the European Cup. You know,
aye, but see that season, and that's what I equate to the Huns. We've kind of got to make sure we're better in Hun games. So when we play them, we've got to be better. But I think, see in Scotland, there's a place for a good football playing manager, and I think he'll do all right if they stick with him. I think he's a decent enough manager, but we should still be fucking. We should still be so far ahead of them in terms of what we do, but we can't control what they do against everybody else. That's a big thing folk have just got to remember. But we need to be better in the games against them. Need to be.
I'll be brutally honest with you, Scott, right? See, when they play in Europe, I wouldn't put 2 bob in the team that's playing against them, because I noticed they've got different players now, but they have got some mentality. When it's a big game, they raise their game.
Yeah.
And see, against us, that wasn't their issue. I mean, they destroyed us nearly every game, apart from the first game of the season when we beat them at Celtic Park, and they were the better team. But
they've changed that style so much. I mean, it's going to be really interesting, because at Ibrox, they're going to try and play that same game as they played the other night against us, and that's a fact. And it's going to be really interesting to see what position we're in. Do you know what I mean? In terms of team structure, because teams like that generally we do better against. When we come up against a team who want to sit in and then hit us on the break, the Huns done it, and then the Huns pressed us and we collapsed. Do you know what I mean? Be interesting to see. It'll be really interesting to see, in fact, because as you said, they're up and down. Sunday, Motherwell should have beaten them.
Oh,
well, Saturday should have said whenever.
3-4-1 would have been a fair result. I was watching it with Magoo in here, and see at half time, I'm like, Motherwell's got to score 100%, and I just couldn't see them no scoring. But obviously, as the game was going on, you're like, maybe. But they were pressing, they were all over the place. The ball was like a hot tie at them. And Motherwell just, I mean, a draw was, Rangers should, at the end of the day, they had the lead, right? So it's obviously like a losing draw for them because they nearly got there. But when they look at the balance of play, Motherwell deserved to win. Without a doubt, they were hopeless. But then they got into that European game and they looked brilliant. I didn't watch it, but by all accounts, they looked brilliant. Don't know the class of opposition, but you're not telling me Victoria Plitzen aren't like at least on a par with Motherwell. You know, so it's like it's just wild how they go for. They're totally bipolar.
Did they not sell their best player just before the game?
But Motherwell's best player wasn't even in the team.
Even playing, aye. Lennon Miller.
That's no. I mean, they ripped them apart.
Oh, they totally did. The amount of chances they missed. My God.
I mean, Plitzen finished a good bit half, but they finished second last season in that thing. I don't know. He's up your hole in it. I mean, it's amazing though that fucking 2-3 good signings. You'd see a lift off of all the fans. You'd see a lift off of Rodgers. The lift off of Rodgers and would lift all of us even at May again, and you're back feeling fucking good about things. And the thing is, we've got a chance. Be it against Slovan. We beat Slovan 5-1, albeit we're a lot weaker than we were. Or this Karat. We play them at home, so we should be going out hammer and tong to finish the tie, shouldn't we?
Yeah. And it's like, see with the away goals rule being abolished, right? I'm kind of the opinion now it's in your benefit to have the home leg first. Whereas years ago, you always want, I mean, mind when you were kids watching European football, if your team went away from home and got a 0-0 draw, they'd be celebrating on the park.
Jason, you could beat 2-1, you were buzzing. I remember.
Aye.
Who was it beat us? I want to say it was Dynamo Batumi. Somebody beat us 2-1, and I remember being gutted. I remember listening to it at school, and I remember coming home gutted, and my dad says, 2-1 away from home. That's a fucking great result. Doesn't matter who you play. Say a little batter them, and I was like, and sure enough. I need to check if it was Batumi saying that.
The amount of teams, when you look back to the 80s and that as well, the amount of teams that my first ever away European was away to Cologne, 2-0, and we beat them 3-0 at Celtic Park. And that mind again wasn't even sold out, but that was brilliant. And then Sporting Lisbon, I think we could beat 2-0 in Lisbon, did we not beat them 5-0 at Celtic Park? There was loads of occasions where we would lose the away, but when we played the home game first, a lot of the time we were bombed out because if you didn't go away with a big lead and you were rarely beaten. Like, I mean, the time we beat Real Madrid at Celtic Park, man, still low star there. There was loads of occasions where the opposite happened, but I mind it quite a few times that you would come back to Celtic Park. I mean, Strachan's first game, fucking, we were right unlucky after we get the absolute shellacking. That was his first game in Europe, wasn't it? What was that? Was it 5-0 we could beat?
Arcadia
Bratislava, aye. And then they beat them, 4-0, was it? And, she still went through, but, so it's kind of flipped with the away goals, no counting, kind of double. Because in the reverse, you would actually think back then it'd have been better to play the home leg first, where you wanted the away leg first. Because you think to yourself, if you play the home leg first and they don't score, say even it's 0-0, you go away and you're getting double for scoring a goal, and they're getting, well, not exactly double.
Well, what was the one we get? I'm trying to think. So it wasn't Dynamo Batumi. It was when we played Tirol-Innsbruck in '97. They beat us 2-1 at home. We battered them. We beat them. We could beat 2-1 away, and we battered them at home. But the game that comes that sums up what you were saying, it was against a Portuguese mob under Mowbray or Lennon, maybe.
Victoria Guimarães or something.
No, it was. Was it Braga? I think they battered us and we ended up taking a lead and then they scored and that was it, Dean Murray. They beat us 3-0 away and we broke my park key. I think we were 2-0 up and they scored and that was it.
It's finished. We're just no way back. I mean, you think back to the Seville run. I mean, we beat...
that Basel game,
and exactly. And then the Stuttgart in the run to UEFA Cup, we beat them 3-1 at Celtic Park. And I always go back to that they got a man sent off. I think they were 1-0 up at the time. I don't know if it was 1-0 or 1 each. But they got a man sent off and they were destroying us. And we beat them 3-1. And then the Gazelle there gets the 2 goals. So you're like, fucking 5-1. And then next thing they scored 3.
Hey, that was wild. And have you ever... You've obviously watched the Celtics and Seville thing, and Big Sutton's like, I wasn't worried. I remember being at that game shitting myself. I mean, oh man! So they've just added 6 minutes on Dundee United, still 2-2.
I was at the game and I was on the fence. See the big fence? I climbed up the fence, and just as they scored, and I thought to myself, "I'm going to look like a right fucking idiot here." No, you're begging, you're saying to yourself, how many goals do they need? I'm like, no, they still need 2. I was working it in my head, no away goals. I'm like, no, they only get 1, we get 2 here. So if they get another goal, they still need another. And then it kind of went into injury time. But
one of the best.
Loads of, I mean, what a support we had that night. It must have been 10,000. It was that big in the old stadium. Oh, brilliant. But So it's the 20th, the Wednesday night.
We're playing at home game, aye.
So it's a week.
The keeper, it's 3-2. They've just they've chopped it off.
Have they?
It looks like they've chopped off because they've stopped fucking cheering, but it looks like the keeper flung in the fucking net, man. I know this helps Dave doing a podcast. It's offside, I think.
Offside, Hibs 2-0. What a result that is.
Still 2-2.
David Gray, by the way, 2-0 to Hibs. Bloody hell.
So, what's left in the list?
What's left in the list? I don't know. Joe.
Joe's fucking.
Joe's asleep.
Go asleep.
Sorry, my mic was muted. Was talking there. Sorry. Liam, we didn't do the Bilbao boys thing.
Go for it.
Shout to that, mate. Carry on.
Okay, so we just pulled up my phone there because you sent it to me earlier on today.
Jason, do you know these guys?
What's this?
Yeah, this sponsored bike ride thing for Palestine, Bilbao.
No, I don't think so.
No.
So read it in there, right? So it's up on our Facebook page, Tony Craig, right? We are the Bilbao Boys, the Celtic Supporters Club in Bilbao, hoping to raise funds in euros for approximate distance between ourselves and Gaza. We want to send money to help with medicine and other health-related requirements. We'll be aiming for 250 kilometers per week, and we'll post updates on X, Facebook, and Instagram. The goal is to have it done before Halloween. Our friend Rob, a Brummie and Aston Villa fan, there you go, Liam, is doing some cycling for this too. If we don't make this goal, then that is fine. The aim is to raise what we can, as well as raising awareness on the plight of the Gazans. If you can't contribute, then no worries. A simple share on your social media or the fundraiser would be really helpful. Follow us on X at Bilbao Boys CSC, and very similar. It's all pretty much the same. Bilbao Boys on Facebook and on Instagram.
That's it. That's Tony. That's Tony Jason.
So I need to see if Tony sent me this.
Yeah, he's put it straight in the chat, so that's good.
All right, excellent.
Just share it out, Joe. Just get it on the.
Yeah.
On
the X and Facebook out there and get it sent out. Fair play to the lads. I mean, we're at the stage now where anything you can do really is a positive when it comes to Palestine and Gaza. I mean, literally anything.
Do you think the narrative's starting to shift quite a bit on this?
In the public sphere, in terms of like people you would speak to, and people like, you know, you seen that you seen was at Sydney the other day. Yeah, people in society's starting to go, what the fuck are we watching here? What the fuck is actually happening? But I mean, this, but at a higher level, on a political level, on a kind of world power level, we are watching what we pretty much assumed we were going to watch, which is the fucking ethnic cleansing of Palestine.
Well, Netanyahu's come out tonight and said he's going to occupy the full of Gaza. They already occupy 70% of it, and he says he's going to occupy the full of it. And it's just. I think the worldwide opinion. I think most people in the world have kind of switched off it now. It's just.
I tell people to watch it. Like I was at a point where I couldn't watch any of it, but you know what? I'm at the point now. I'm going like, you know what? See if you don't watch it, then you're part of the fucking problem.
The narrative they're coming out with now, it's you're always seeing malnourished kids. You're not seeing any malnourished adults, as if it's all like a hoax. You're like,
but we're honestly back to before, but everybody just ignored it. Because this has been, as well, I'm no lecturing you boys, this has been happening for years. Mm-hmm. There's been people talking about this for years, and we're almost back to, it's happening. It's happening, but nobody's talking about it because Israel, that fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just the whole island. The whole. I mean, did you watch see that Gulf? Where he was sitting, you're just sitting going.
Gulf. He's a sneaky wee lizard cunt.
How much money in your life do you need to go to be that fucking cruel? And because this is what it's all about. These people are endorsing it because of money, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, see if you can be paid to politic your way around starvation. There's something fucking dreadfully centrally wrong with your fucking soul, and I don't think you're the same kind of person, human being, that I would consider myself to be.
Well, to be perfectly honest, everybody in fucking politics, they knew. Every one of them can be bought. Every one of them are bought. Well, every country, every party, they're all the same.
This is what I say to people. When people bring up politics to me, I say, listen, I don't even trust the politicians I vote for.
Well, I've never joined a political party in my life until about a month ago. I joined Jeremy Corbyn's party. There you go. So, see, at the end of the day, what else is there? You know,
and that is where we're at. It's like, you know what?
I was never a mad Scottish nationalist anyway. You know, it was like I thought it was for the greater good Scotland to get independence. But you're maybe looking at that from a selfish point of view because you're saying to yourself, but then you're selling my mates for Liverpool and all that down the river, etc. You know, if Scotland did get independence. But I think Jeremy Corbyn's party, he's the one guy I had faith in, and what he talks about is like talking about building communities, and they're like, do you know the thing I've thought about, right? See if you reversed the Palestine-Israel thing, and it was the Palestinians that were killing Israelis, I would be on the side of Israel. Do you know what I mean? See if it was like the Palestinians had all the weapons and whatever, and they had done this to the Israelis, I would be on their side. See if the exact same was happening in reverse. To me, it's nothing to do with like Palestine. It's to do with humanity.
Yeah, we've got no skin in the game. We've got no link.
Exactly.
It's just it's the oppressed and the oppressor, isn't it? That's
exactly.
That's the side that you take.
If the same was happening to the Israelis, that the Palestinians were murdered and they were getting dragged out their hussies and stuff, you'd be on their side. You know, it's just like
but that's where it becomes very frustrating, because once you kind of show support for one side, the narrative or the defense becomes like, oh, so you're okay with this, that, there, and the other. And it's like arguing with right wing people. I mean, you say you've got no problem with Muslims. I have no problem with Muslims. There's a mosque about fucking literally about 100 feet away from my house. Right? Fucking great people. Park outside my house. Never had a problem, right? But people are going like, oh, you're okay with this, you're okay with that. I'm going like, that is not my experience of Muslim people. That is not my experience. Like, I mean, that like, you cannot drive me and my fucking support of Palestine or my fucking support for like diversity into some other argument about what I may or may not be supporting. And that's where it gets very fucked up for me, because I always find when people do that, I get very frustrated and I react badly, because when people do that, and the right wing do that all the time, and the media do that all the time, and you see it all the time, particularly in American kind of media and American politics, one kind of soundbite gets dragged into an entirely different argument and it gets sidetracked. At the end of the day, what you're saying, Jason, is like, I despise oppression. I despise starvation. I despise bullies. I always fucking have, and I always fucking will. I despise fascism. I despise fucking religious ideology that puts somebody neath the heel in general, right? And that's got nothing to do with necessarily me being Irish. Yes, it's definitely influenced on that in the life that I've lived, but it's because I'm a fucking decent person, and I go, you know what? Everybody deserves a right to have a certain chance at life.
Joe, let's be honest. 90% of people who feel that way have never spent 5 minutes in the company of a Muslim person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And see, the bottom line, I've got a problem with arsehole Muslims. I've got a problem with arsehole Catholics, arsehole Protestants, arsehole fucking Jews, arsehole anybody. They're fucking evil bastards that are involved in any religion. I've got problems with a lot of them. I don't
bloody arsehole atheists as well. Like,
exactly. I don't bucket them into.
I'm one of them.
Bucket them into. This is what they're bad. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, people actually. They equate now. You support Palestine, so you support Hamas, you support ISIS, and that. No, they are fucking despise them. Look. At the end of the day, it's nothing to do with that. It's fucking human beings are killing other human beings. It's fucking kids.
I look at it this way, just I fucking see living in the south, right? I lived down here 21 years now, right? I hate when people bring up the troubles to me, right? Because it's just something I don't really fucking want to talk about in general, right? Because it's like you live through it, you fucking just you fucking talk all day about it, right? But it's not going to tell anybody any good. But the way sometimes it's framed down here, and people ask me about it, I always say the same thing. I say, listen, my view of the troubles is this: see where I grew up and where I was born, or my parents grew up, or my fucking grandparents grew up when they were born. I said, see if those people didn't stand up when it got fucking to the point where they realized they were going to be fucking executed essentially by fucking imperialist forces. So see if they didn't stand up, I wouldn't be here. I was like, and that's the only way I can look at it. And that's the way anybody who's been oppressed or colonialized has to look at it. Because that's all that matters. Survival's the fucking key when you're in it. That's it. That's all you've got available to you. Survival.
Yeah.
And the Palestinians and the people in Gaza are being denied every single avenue of survival, and that makes me fucking sick to my stomach, because I couldn't sit in the very fact there's human beings on this planet that would fucking sit down and go, that's okay, makes my fucking skin crawl.
It's just they came up with some narrative to try and explain it and try and put their point across that this is justified and stuff. And you're like, fucking hell. That Netanyahu, all him and his cohorts care about is staying in power. They don't care about anything. They're murdering people left, right, and centre every single day, and none of them lose a winky sleep at night. And you're just saying, what kind of fucking human being are you? How you can't actually rationalise it in your head. What's that? And you've got Trump and all that, like, supporting them. You've got the British government supporting them, and it's just fucking. You can't describe anything about it. It's just beyond.
I now tell people to watch the videos because I wasn't watching the videos, and I now watch the videos because I go, you know what? I need to be able to fucking tell people when I get older, when this is essentially being looked back on, what it exactly fucking is. That we all fucking seen it. We all see these children starving, see people killed that were afraid. We essentially seen. I don't know if you've seen that video of the massive people just scrambling for food. That looked like something fucking staged in a CGI fucking Hollywood movie, and it was a bunch of people fucking trying to get food being shot at. And I was like, what fucking planet are we living on?
It's unbelievable.
But I want to be able to tell people and tell fucking my grandkids, that did happen. We watched it on our fucking phones, and we did as much as we possibly could, and it didn't, and it probably won't save the final result. But what it'll do, it'll at least let people know that we didn't stand idly by and fucking say nothing and do nothing. We did something. Do you know who's one of the good cunts online, actually, that I love? Mr. C from The Shaman. Everybody follow him. He's a good cunt. He's very pro-Palestine. He calls out all these cunts in the music industry and all, going like, why the fuck aren't you fucking getting your voices up? People like Bob Geldof, who apparently fucking eventually raised his fucking voice. I mean, and I just, it depresses me. But I feel compelled to make sure I don't forget that I was here when this fucking happened.
Yeah, see, Paul Weller's fronting this gig for Palestine as well, Joe. That's brilliant, man.
And that's the thing I was talking about. When was I talking about that? It was fucking on fucking Facebook or something. I was like, because Massive Attack started a kind of started a kind of an alliance of artists. Yeah. Start a festival. Start a fucking festival. A big fucking pro-Palestine. Fucking start a festival. That's what they need to do. I mean, because like kneecap are getting bought in Hungary. Fucking the murder capital are getting the gigs cancelled in fucking Germany. Like my daughter was at Fontaine's DC in Berlin the other night. She was home there actually the other day after 3 months away in fucking Asia, and she was at Fontaine's DC and she sent me a photograph and it was all big Palestinian stuff. And I texted her. I said, I'm amazed that somebody that the Germans didn't fucking kick up.
Big time in Berlin, yeah. You know what I
mean? But I actually think it was in Leipzig. It wasn't actually in Berlin. They said they got a train out. I said it must have been in Leipzig. I mean, but
that train.
Aye, fucking right. Aye.
Wrong way, I think.
that was the subway or the U-Bahn or the S-Bahn or whatever.
One job.
That was the Joe McChemist train.
No. It was not down to me. It was me having big job.
That's right. You went the wrong way.
He get the car out, I had to get the train. Took him on the rag train. We're heading to the airport. He's like, I was looking at the Google Maps. You're looking further away for this.
But so like fucking like. She was way seeing them, and I was surprised the Germans let that go. But my train of thoughts about going now, but fucking, I think overall, Liam, what you asked at the beginning was that like society sees this, young people see this, right? What's frustrating for young people is their lack of power and their lack of influence, and it's not their fault.
It was more the kind of, you've had Starmer, who are the spies, come out and say he's going to recognise Palestine, Macron, and just maybe sound bites, do you know what I mean? Maybe just sound bites to kind of, I don't know what the game is. It's unusual to see them two coming out, and supporting it.
Well, recognise Palestine in September. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Do you know something we don't know?
Well, arm them to the teeth. Israel to the teeth until September, and then we'll recognise them. It's a weird thing.
It's just, I mean, like we're never gonna.
I think one of them came out and says because we want to be on the right side of history.
Jesus Christ, man.
Fucking hell, man.
I saw that apparently Israel had a big billboard in Times Square today. Yeah, you see that?
It was one of the hostages who is starving. Do you know why he's starving? I'd say
because everybody else is starving.
Because everybody else is fucking starving, man, and Aid can't get through. But this victimization, this victimizing, which is prevalent fucking in wider Oregon society in general, is just so. It's very hard not to be angry. It's very hard not to fucking lose your temper sometimes during the day because of the injustice of it all. It is really difficult. I mean,
see, the trouble is, Joe, and I've said this before, right? And you asked me about having Twitter or X earlier, right? And I don't have it anymore. I've got Facebook just for family stuff. It just, you can't believe anything that you see online anymore. Anything on any side of any argument.
No.
It's almost pointless. Do you know what I mean? It's just there's so much stuff made up. There's so much lies just conveyed, and then just that spurn out all the bots that drive information to you based on what you. It's so difficult to weed your way through the truth these days.
See on that, Liam, right? I don't know if I mentioned this to you. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Right? To try and cut this story as short as possible, right? So basically, on my local kind of Facebook, everybody's kind of local Facebook connected kind of fucking page where of your town, of your area, right? Just a local Facebook page here. And a video went up of a mother saying that her son had been potentially abducted, right? And the video was like a CCTV video from somebody's house. And it just showed this lad pulling up his bike, going into his house, putting his bike there, and a car was on the street. A guy got out of the car, and they got back out of the car, and the car drove away. Right? That's what was in the video, right?
A young kid, Joe, or teenager?
He might have been 10.
Right,
right?
All right.
But there was no evidence in the video that he'd been chased by anybody. Right?
Yeah.
I watched the video and I was like, I don't really fucking see anything in that, to be honest with you. And I kind of knew the person putting it was like, do you know what? I was like, I don't see a potential abduction there. All I see is a kid putting his bike in a house, going to the house, and a car pulling up, getting out of the car, and then getting back into the car. I was like, that's all I see. Anyway, it then circulated all around fucking Facebook and the internet, right? And be a day later, she kind of retracted it and went like, oh, by the way, it turned out it was the dude from around the corner who was dropping his mate off, right? Or I was being dropped off, and the guy had gone too far. He's like, oh, this is my house, get back in the car, and around the corner, right? Fucking whatever. That's what it turned out to just being like a local guy being dropped off by his mate, and just by chance, this kid was going the same way, and he was going the same way. She fucking pulled the video down. Oh, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Right? Which is embarrassing and fucking kind of fucked up, but whatever, right? That video, I have seen multiple times on right-wing X accounts stating that where I live is potentially a spot where your kid will get kidnapped by foreign nationals. That same video.
Yeah.
It's just
more than once. And I got angry in my head at her for doing it. I was like, people need to understand the fucking consequences of shit like this.
Yeah,
totally. You don't just put it up on your fucking Facebook page and it goes away. Once you put it up, it's fucking there forever, and it can be twisted, and it can be fucking used, and it is being used, and you just don't even know about it. And then you fueled the problem. And I checked these videos out on X, 70, 120,000 views, right? And I've heard friends with fucking their phones, people scrolling TikTok, and you'll just hear a video and you're like, hang on a second, you just been fed that into your, that's some right wing pish. And I've seen people that I know well reposting
that's my
stuff
problem,
on Facebook,
Joe, do you know what I mean?
And I'm going, hold on, fucking, where's your critical thinking? Where is your possibility to stop and go, what am I doing here?
That's my exact point. Everyone's got an opinion now, but people have stopped thinking for themselves, right? So they're just getting polluted with ideas, and that they want to share other people's views of the world rather than just think and look at things for themselves. That's what's depressing me about all this stuff.
And I always make the same point to them. When people say to me, "Oh, fucking," because it's happening more and more often now. People going like, "Oh, fucking immigrants," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Wait, hold on, stop a second. What's your experience? What do you mean? He said, what is your experience of people from Nigeria, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, Morocco, Muslims? What is your personal experience? Tell me what it is. And they'll tell you, and you go, right, well, does that fit with the narrative you're fucking seeing online? Because my personal experience of Muslims is the park outside my house. They're very nice to me. They chat away to me. Throw them an assalamu alaikum. And you fucking, everything's sweet. And Freddie, place is buzzing. They're all around. They're going to the mosque, right? Well, but this, but that, or the other. Going like, that's not your choice. It's not your decision. You don't get to decide how other people live their fucking lives. The same way you're talking about how you think they're going to make you decide to live. It's not your choice. You didn't sign up for it, so don't give a fuck about it. Why even occupying your brain space with it? Right? Because my experience is that it's fine. Tell me your experience. Do you have a Nigeria? Do you work on a bit in Nigeria?
I think what Dyson said earlier is spot on, right? There's good and bad on both sides. You know what I mean? It's not a black and white picture either way. Just judge everyone on fucking good country.
Exactly, but people who are going down this line of thought aren't basing their thinking on what they've actually experienced in life. They're basing it on what's being fucking touted in the fucking social media ether. This is what's happening. This is happening. Go like, well, look at your fucking front door. It's happening out there. Yeah, there's cunts everywhere. There's white cunts, black cunts, there's fucking yellow cunts. It makes no fucking odds. There's cunts every walk of life. That's just fucking people, right? But fucking live life off your own fucking personal experience, not off what fucking some group of wankpots is telling you is happening somewhere else.
Yeah,
it's mad.
So just exactly what I said. It took you 25 minutes to say it.
Well, you know me, Jason. I like to extrapolate because I like to get this podcast to 2 hours if I can.
As I say, there's good and bad in everybody.
There's two things, right? I saw recently, right? There was this. Don't ask me how this even comes on any feeds that I see, but there was a young boy in Magaluf, right, trying to fight somebody, right, a young Brummie guy or a guy from the Midlands, and he's kind of like calling this guy out for a square go. But there was two guys there like filming him, right, but not just getting their phones out. They kind of had like microphones and everything, like as though they just go wandering around these sort of places looking for trouble and then turn it into some fucking social media event. And this guy was calling out this other guy for a fight for about 5 minutes, and then it cut off. And the next thing you see, this fucking guy from the Midlands, or this Brummie guy's got his arm in a bandage. He'd had his arm slashed or done in and whatever. But you just thought, what the fuck? Why are people going around in these places, like actively, desperately trying to film people, like fighting or having bother or whatever else? And that's all it seems to be when you're on your feeds of stuff these days. It's just people fighting everywhere and people just sticking the cameras in the face in the middle of these things. I don't know, I find it really weird, really depressing.
It's all for social media likes.
Yeah, it's
that's the world that we live in. That people would just try and monetize everything.
It's meant, but that's what I'm saying. These guys, obviously, who got the microphones, they must be like obviously YouTubers or whatever it is, and that's what they're trying to feed into their channel. But on the flip side of that, obviously, we've seen I Beat the Boss Man.
Do you know what? People are laughing at the cunt, but he's a legend now. He's not a social media icon. Cannot fault the man's confidence.
It's so funny, man.
Think you was just enjoying yourself.
out there looking like he's just walked out of the Lego movie. Unbelievable.
What did they say? Ocean at 10 a.m, Battle of Hastings at 12.
Do you know what? Somebody's put one up today. I should have sent it to you on Instagram. They called them the Monastery of Sound.
Yeah, mate, there's been so many. See that thing I sent you? That's like AI and all that stuff, right? I don't even get into it, right? It terrifies me. But some of the stuff with them big gorillas or whatever that they put together is fucking hilarious, man. Very, very clever stuff.
I hope the big man rinses the absolute fuck in those 15 minutes.
Oh, it seemingly signed up to some. I was reading that now you click on some and then it goes to a news feed. So I clicked on that. Seemingly signed up to this top agency or whatever already. And they're like
fair play to the and see that sort of thing. That's where social media can be a good thing. Now, no doubt he might go on to be an absolute cunt, right? Right? Fucking that's a high possibility, right? But it's nice to see a guy who essentially, like, to a certain degree, was being mocked with a fucking video to turn it into something fucking absolutely lucrative. Fair play to the big guy. Yeah.
It's hilarious, man. But just that's the world we live in now, isn't it? Just it's catching that attention of people, and then
one of us needs to get a 15 minutes. I reckon. Well, with the social life Jason Higgins has, I'm surprised there hasn't been 15 minutes of fame for you.
Mine is very, very.
It's well, you've got 15 minutes spread out over 50 odd years of you.
Very.
As I'm sure we all agree, thank God there wasn't video phones around back in our day.
Oh, do you know what? Do you ever watch them old fucking rave videos that are clearly off a camcorder from back in the day when there was no camera phones, and you go, "Whoo, the tough knows how fucking dangerous that would have been."
I put him out the back, yeah, someone back in.
Imagine someone. There's a video, right? I don't know if you've ever seen this. I think it might be a video from Leeds. You ever seen this video from Leeds? One of them fucking Fantasia nights, right? And the place is going fucking berserk. It's the end of the night, and the kind of lights will come on, and there's a guy standing there dancing, and he's quite clearly an undercover cop. It's you have to see it. It's just he just stands in a fucking mind. He's hardly dancing. He's standing there. He doesn't not dress like anybody else. He's got a fucking brown leather jacket on. He looks like he's going to a fucking wine bar, right? And he's just standing there, and his head's kind of slightly nodding out of time. And going like, "That man is an undercover policeman." And it's all in the comments of the video going, "Clearly, your man's a cop."
The best one was the Quadrant Park video, I think. I think that's probably the best one. See, when you look at the old, like,
brilliant, isn't it?
Late 80s and the 90s, unreal. And like, I was in the middle of all that, and it was just what a time it was to grow up. Unbelievable. Just see when you think back, and I always say that I would remortgage the house just at one of the nights again.
Here's the thing. Right? I was talking to Lucia. She was back in Berlin. They spent the last 5 days of their 3 months in Asia in Berlin, and they went to see obviously the Fontaines, and they went to a few clubs. They said the best thing about Berlin clubs is like take your phone off you.
Yeah. Yeah, the techno clubs, it's really hard to get in them, isn't it? And then they all take the phone off you.
Take the phone off you, locked away. And here's the thing. She said the best thing they have is they have awareness stewards. You know what this?
No.
Right? They have awareness stewards. They have an awareness team that moves around the club. So if somebody looks like they lost their friends, maybe a bit gazumped, right? A bit fucking wiped out. They're then brought to the kind of front area, kind of sat down, given some water, and then they're given their phone. And their phones to kind of try and contact their friends, where you staying, blah blah. Figure out how to go to get them home, and then somebody goes out and tries to find somebody that knows them in the club. I was like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Right? An awareness team. See in Ireland, they're pretty the same in Glasgow. It's like, get the fuck out, you cunt. Onto the street, you boy. The awareness team is in McDonald's with a fucking milkshake for you. Fuck off.
I know. But I Berlin, that's a cracking site, and it's like it was. I knew that Berghain Brewery's gone with his girlfriend. He's married for that music, so he's going to go to that. But as I say, they'll never experience what we did in the 80s.
I think we need a HomeBhoys Rasta reunion in Berlin. I think it's
revisit the reggae den. That's what I say.
The reggae den was class, wasn't it? That was one of the best away trips, and the fact that Joe made it there and back on one of the e-scooters, and you were staying at the other end of Berlin for us.
24 kilometers on an e-scooter.
Hold on, he carried me over his shoulder, fucking one of the ways as well. To be fair,
unbelievable. I still can't get my head around that. I couldn't have made it to the next street. 24 kilometers.
Do you know what the reggae den was actually a mental health haven. Do you remember our Colin was in the bar with us, right? And our Colin, he's a laid back guy, and him and his mate Mailer, they were heading back to New York, and they left us. I don't know what bar. Remember, we were in a bar near the Alexanderplatz, and they left us, and they went to the airport, and then they were back about an hour and a half later because they missed the flight, because our Colin's so fucking chilled out. They got there, the fucking flight was gone. And Mailer was fucking freaking the fuck out because he's waiting for the kid and it wasn't going well, blah blah. And next thing he ended up back in the reggae den, and he was fucking stressed at the fuck. And see, by the end of the night, he was in groove form. He was because the reggae day was fucking. Liam had the first UB40 album on. We were all fucking chilling the reggae day. Going, this is great crack. We're having good fun.
present arms. That was it.
Do you know what?
You introduced me to that album, Liam.
Still play it, Liam.
To be honest, I mean, that was when they were like good proper reggae, you know, like a bit hardcore. Then obviously they went into all the karaoke stuff after that. But that was them their rawish stuff. Really, it was good.
Aye, brilliant. Do you know what? It's one of the bands that I never ever disliked. I mind I knew a wee guy. God, what was his name for Birmingham? Years and years ago, I met him. He was one of the best pool players in the world at the time, and he was mates with him, and he went to Jamaica with him for 6 months, and he was telling those stories. Bang on! It was excellent. Really, really good. I can't even mind the wee boy's name. I know.
I think Jim Cameron met him a few times as well down the years, but they were great when they first started, man. And they were good. They've been good for years, but just more of a obviously karaoke band as they got.
They obviously monetised it, realise the money they made. Fair play.
They're playing a failure in Belfast, I think, this week. This weekend, I think.
It's on Sunday, isn't it? But they've been split for years, Joe. So
Ali Campbell does his own thing, doesn't he?
Yeah, him and one other guy does it, and then the rest of them, but which is not kind of the same. But it's a band like that, you just go and listen, just like you go and listen to what they're playing. That's good enough, isn't it? Really.
Class. So what's do you get any joy with a ticket for Sunday, Liam?
No, mate, I hadn't planned to go anyway. Me and Donna were meant to be on an overnighter Sunday. It's ended up being cancelled this afternoon, but just with work and that as well. I'm trying to avoid the Sunday games a little bit, but there's no sign of anything anyway coming through just now. So
Mick still not got mine either.
Yeah, it's been quiet really. So what's your plans? You going up on the?
We've got a minibus going. I don't know what time it's leaving it yet, but I'll just be up to the game, then I'll be down the road on the back home, working Monday. But keeping the Sunday games to straight home after the game sort of thing. So I'll keep.
I know, which is the right thing to do, mate. But even then, it's still 6 hours on a bus, and like for all the best will in the world, there's no way I'm going on that bus without a big bag of cans. Do you know what I mean? So
there'll be 12 Guinness, without a shadow of a doubt. But no, I'm looking forward to it, But first away of the season, I was just lucky enough to get a ticket. But it's brutal, See, I sent a few begging texts out there the now, so I'll see what comes back. But tickets are few and far between. I think it's going to be like that for the rest of the season. I'll get to the stage, but I'm actually on the cusp of actually going to wrap the away games, I reckon. Because I can't be bothered.
We've added the pensioner stage of the HomeBhoys podcast, folks. Fucking hell. Everybody's saying it now.
I'm just a lucky recipient of tickets, but I'm kind of that way as well. I just can't be. I just get them. I don't really chip too many in, but it's just a stress and a drain all the time, isn't it? For these games, it's.
So I still get a few pass my way sort of thing. So I would probably always end up with a ticket for an away game because I've done that many favours over the past and stuff. But it's getting to the stage I can't even be bothered with the hassle now.
Yeah.
And it's just tough, and you just can't be bothered because it takes up too much time. See the amount of time you actually spend trying to source tickets, and then the amount of mental fucking gymnastics you go through when you've got a couple who you gave them to. And the guilt complex because you've not sorted him out and he's sorted you out before, and you're maybe giving one to a mate that hasn't sorted you out before, so you shouldn't give him it, but you should give it to somebody else, and it's like, But it's going to the stage now. I sent out a couple of begging texts and I've not had anything back, so there's a few that's scrubbed right off straight away, and that's a weight off my mind now because I've sorted them out and they've not come back with anything for me. So, and I've sorted them out with big games as well. So they've not come back with anything. So there's a wee bit of that I can maybe just scrub them off now. So, it's murder. It's tough.
See, to be honest, for Sunday, it would never happen. But see if I end up with 2 tickets, I'd happily kind of drove up and took Zoe up there to give her first experience of the game. But it's just impossible now even for the easier games. Trying to get 2 tickets is a problem. But think of the boys running the buses, Chase. I mean, at least you've got the stress of it, but the boys doing that and trying to run buses and fill buses, it's impossible for them, man.
And that's how a couple of guys that run buses would text me, "Have you got any spare?" But I'd end up having to say to them, I said to them at the end of last season, I says, "Look, mate," I says, "don't ask me for any spare again," because I says, "You're never giving me one back. You're always sorting out your bus. So you're off the list now." And I would always try, because obviously the guys that go in the bus deserve tickets, etc. But it's getting to the stage that you need to be so selfish now that you only give them to people that give you them back. So I've got about 4 or 5 that give me tickets. And what I do now is if I get a spare, I'll always offer them to them first. Before anybody. And then if they don't want them, they know I've gave them the opportunity to take it. And you're still in the good books for when you need one. But I'm getting to a stage now I can't even be bothered. I maybe just start going to home games. And see when I know a load of guys that only go to home games, and see when you get into that habit, it becomes easy then because you just don't concern yourself with away games. You just go to the home games. So I don't know.
I think I'm trying to pick up a few day trips this year instead of doing the weekends, because the weekends are they're expensive as fuck. Like, I mean, so like I know there's a few buses up north that have a lot of space on them, so I get £75 for your travel, I mean, for your bus and your ferry, and like tickets there. So it's something I'm considering, like in terms of like trying to cut costs, because people are fucking skint as well. I mean, Celtic are fucking, like, costs are going up. I mean, fucking Celtic.
You don't go on that St Margaret's bus, Joe.
I know, but it'd probably be handier for me in terms of like carting him along with me, just to go to Belfast, stay at my house for the night, meet the bus at 6, down at the docks, and then go over that way and come back at 11 o'clock, stay at my house, just to fucking not make it so harsh on him. You know what I mean?
Joe, what's it like for getting flights back home on a Saturday after a game?
It depends on. It's grand, but like, see, when I take him and he's so fucking. He's almost he's the fucking prince of travel now, because like I take him to the T1 lounge, we go to fucking stay at our Airbnb, we go to the game, we meet you, we go to your house, then we go karting. I mean, I'm kind of going like, this can't expect too much. I've set a very dangerous precedent here. I mean, fuck's sake. I mean, so maybe he needs, like, I mean, I suppose maybe the idea of being on the boat, maybe going, let's go on the boat, man. The boat's great. The boat, get on the boat, let's go on the boat. I mean, and hopefully that'll fucking kind of get him kind of G'd up, like, because you can do it in a day. I mean,
I've said to you before, if you get a late flight on the Friday, just jump in ours, crash at ours, and then go back after the game. Just keep the cost down, and just try and do it that way. Maybe sometimes.
His first question now is, Liam, when I say we're going to games, are we going go-karting? I'm like, fuck me.
I
fucked up there, like, you know what I mean? I'm talking the canvas line of the go-karting, and he's whipped me. And I'm like, oh, fuck this guy's. See, unless you become Lewis Hamilton, we're never fucking going again. You can't. Fuck. But listen, I'm excited. I'm a wee bit, not deflated after the weekend, but I'm a wee bit like, fucking, what's to come is more my mindset now.
It's a big 2 weeks. It's a big 2 weeks. And see, at the end of the day, if the club don't sign anybody, there's no doubt in my mind Rodgers is off at the end of the season. See if they provide him with a couple of good signings, then there's hope. Because he did say in his interview he'd be happy to stay. You know, that was a bit, for me, we haven't spoke about a contract, but he says, I'm more than happy here. And I genuinely believe he is. I think he's done his stint in England. I don't think he's got any massive ambitions. Obviously, if a fucking Juventus or something like that come in for him, he'd probably say, well, wait a minute here. Sleeping giant. No, Juventus, by all accounts, they're the biggest club in Italy, biggest supported club in Italy. They've not won any for years. I'm just making fucking Juventus up my head here, but I'm using them as an example. If a team like that come in for him, then you could understand. He'd maybe say, right, well, I'm going to have a go at something like this. But I honestly reckon the guy's happy at Celtic. And if we match his ambitions, I think he'd stay for a good few years.
See, my takeaway from the entire interview was when he said, if you want somebody to maintain something,
Exactly.
the guy.
Yep. And I think he'd
that-
obviously
that's
thought
what frightened me the
hard
most.
about it. No. I thought that was really good, Joe. I think he thought about that. I mean, he's a cold and calculated guy. He doesn't say anything he doesn't mean to say. I thought it was brilliant that he said, because basically he called the board out and says, basically, if I leave here, the fans know that you just want a custodian in here to just tick the place along. You're no one to push. And let's face it, we're not going to win the Champions League. It's virtually impossible for a team for Scotland in this day and age to win the Champions League.
Aye.
But you need to get your best shot. You know, and you need to, and the thing is, the monetary value of getting a further round is astronomical. So if you were to, I mean, Ajax can get to the semis and stuff like that, the Champions League. They go to the final a few years ago, did they not? But they do like a rebuild and it's through their youth academy. They don't win the Dutch League for 3-4 years. They'll have downtime, but they'll come back. You know, that we can't do that because fans don't allow it. You know, it's like if Celtic were to do this constant rebuilding and only win the league maybe 3 years in a row every 4 or 5 years and have a shot at the Champions League and then go on a downturn again and can replenish, it wouldn't sell. You know, we'd lose fortunes. Fans would fucking bolt, and it wouldn't. I just think, see, like the saturation point we're at now with the waiting lists and that for season tickets. If Celtic were to downgrade for Rodgers at the end of this season, get a manager in that hasn't got a clue, and you could end up spiralling to be in the state that mob are in.
Aye. No, well, you go back to Daylight at Henderson, wouldn't you?
Aye, you would. And the thing is as well, the cost as well, because people would key up their season tickets easier now than maybe they would have then, because it's a lot more expensive. People aren't earning as much money, etc. And so I don't know, but I just think if the board get a couple of good signings in and we make a fist of it this year, I don't mean domestically, I'm talking about in Europe, and we see a progress that they are want to take the club forward, then I think he'll be here for a good few years, and I'd love that because he is a top-class manager, regardless what anybody thinks about him. And I'm not his biggest fan either, but I think he's a top-class manager. I think he's good for the football club. Yeah.
For me, it's just really simple. I mean, any operation, any business, you know, you build from a position of strength. You know, we could not be any stronger. You know, we've got the best manager we can probably attract. We're the richest we've ever been in our history. We've got the success coming out our ears for such a long period of time. We've got a pretty solid first 11 there. I mean, it's such a simple position to be in. And we talked earlier about digging into the money in the bank, but we're not even talking about that. We're 20 million or 15 million pound in profit from this summer already.
I know. So, and then Matt Riley's maybe going to get 10% on that.
It just like fucking just make one signature signing before. And I know we're maybe playing a game of cat and mouse or whatever, but just get out there and make one signing to ignite the support, ignite the manager, or just whatever else. It's
see as well, Liam. We could be entering a period here. Maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Dundee United is a good result in Europe, right? Hibs have won 2-0 away to Partizan Belgrade. When's that ever fucking happened before? Right? And the thing is, you could begin into a golden period of Scottish football.
Mm-hmm.
David Gray has got a quality Hibs side there. McInnes has took over at Hearts, and you've got Tony Bloom in. So he's saying they'll split the old firm, and he's saying within 10 years he's want Hearts to win the league. So it could be a right, proper, exciting time within Scottish football. Yeah. And you've got Brendan Rodgers there. We've got everything ready-made. Let's just go for it and see where it takes us. And the thing is, it's amazing for us if all these other teams start getting better. Because then you've got a competitive league. And you never know that the football of Scottish football could increase throughout Europe. All it takes is a wee bit of investment. If you Tony Bloom coming in, if David Gray does well with Hibs, they've made a bit of investment, signed that Grant Hanley as well. He's a decent signing for them too. You say to yourself, this could be a right competitive league. And can you imagine Dundee United and Hibs qualify? You've got Aberdeen in the group stages. Imagine one of them does a run. Can you imagine like a Hibs getting to like a semi-final, the Conference League or whatever? Something like that. It could make Scottish football the place to be. At the end of the day, England has got all the Sky money and they've got top teams, but they've got loads of teams that have hung on to the coattails of your Bournemouth and all that and end up with 100 million, and they've got clever owners that's invested it well in that. But they're wee shitey clubs with 10,000 to a crowd. Hibs are a far bigger team than Bournemouth. Aberdeen's a bigger team than Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But they clubs have got a forward-think manager, Areola. Imagine Scottish football suddenly became good and it suddenly attracted players. I mean, it could end up catapulting the league to be, I'm not saying like a top 5 league in Europe, but it could end up, it's a small population, whatever, but we could end up starting to be a place to be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that's all mental thinking.
Yeah, we have all this talk about playing in England, right? I've got no interest in Celtic playing in England at all. But I would love to see Celtic in a league where you play away once against each team. Every game you're going in apprehensive, nervous, tense about winning the game, whether it's home or away. People say to us, "Do you not get bored of winning?" No, never at all. But I would love to have a much more competitive environment to play in, where there is that kind of tension around the game. And when's the last time you went to a game at home where you had a domestic game where you had genuine any proper butterflies and tension inside you?
Aye, exactly. If you could actually make it that you had a 16-team league that was competitive, obviously you'd have the couple of patsies at the bottom, etc., that weren't doing it. But if you could actually make it that, say, Hearts, Hibs, Celtic, Dundee United, Dundee, Aberdeen, whatever, Motherwell or whatever, were proper teams with good managers, and played good football, and then you could extend it to maybe a 16-team league that you only played each other once away, once at home, once away. It bring much more to the league. Definitely.
You'll know from your Everton pals, Jason, you look out at the start of the season, right? When are we at Liverpool? When are we at Man United? When are we Villa? Whatever, these, and that's your one away day at that club where you're looking forward to building around that. That's a nice buzz when you're only playing that often there.
Aye. And we're going there twice.
Is Scottish football not afflicted by the fact that it's the ugly step cousins of English football? Because of proximity in general and because of Sky Sports?
I get that, Joe, and I, to a certain extent, but we still stand on our own 2 feet. And the media deal, without a doubt, because of Sky, etc. But if you were making a better proposition and you were making a more attractive proposition, you would get more money coming into it. It would all be the juggernaut effect.
I suppose the kind of proof of that is the League of Ireland at the minute. I mean, I seen a thing that today. It was like this time last year, Bray average support was like, I don't know, 283 people. Now it's something like 1,500. I mean, which is not insignificant. I mean, but it proves a point that when the product's better and people can afford to go, you'll get the crowds.
Aye, in Scottish football, see, the thing is, we're in a bit of a unique situation. As we read out in that statement last week for the ultras that's all joining together, etc., we are the most supported league in Europe per capita. So everybody in Scotland is fit by daft. I don't know, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm maybe a bit insular, but I don't really know anybody that's mad into rugby. So
I know some people, but like saying you're mad into rugby is I mean, it's like saying you're mad in the fucking like tea to me. I mean, I don't know how mad in rugby can be. I mean,
Aye, but the thing is, see Scotland. Scotland is like just everybody in Scotland is fit for daft. You know, you'll get apart from my son or like a few folk that aren't they, but like, in general terms, we've got nothing else apart from football. It's all everybody's obsessed with.
it's
And
funny.
just-
Remember, I don't know if you've seen that link I sent out a couple of weeks ago of my cousin Paul Munster, who played for Linfield, was a coach in Sweden, is now a coach at, he was the national coach of Vanuatu. He coached in India, and now he's a coach at Indonesia. But he did this big podcast with these lads who are Indonesian, and he was talking about one of the jobs he had, which was in Brunei, because he doesn't work in cold countries, apparently, our Paul, right? And basically, but he was talking about how essentially he was brought in by essentially the Brunei Football Authority to go, listen, we only have a structure and we only have a relevance of football from a certain level, and that level was about under 17, right? And they were asking him to come in and kind of develop, a kind of a different structure around the regions of Brunei and stuff. That was kind of was his job. But now he's kind of coaching in Indonesia, and he spent time in Indonesia. What he always talks about, he said, like, what he talked about in this podcast was these lads. He said that Indonesia's problem, he said, is a vast population. He said, so it must have good players, right? He said, it must have good players. He said, and the fact that it doesn't have good players who are kind of available or playing in a structure or playing in a league is because that doesn't exist. He said, if that doesn't exist, he said, basically then the prominence of football in the country suffers as a result. He said, because people only play in the streets. He said, and that's not something you can progress. You can't progress street football. You can only progress structural football. And he said, so what part of his job essentially is to develop these sort of structures regionally so that the better players can come through. And he said, and you start to see that. You start to see the better players, so some really, really good Indonesian players coming through. And he's now coaching one of the top Indonesian teams. But it was a fascinating insight to somebody who looks at it very granularly, going like, this is how you not only elevate players, but elevate football in your country. And I'm going like, that is a really fucking unique lens to see the fucking world of football through, because I've never heard of anybody else speak about it that way.
Well, you look at Iceland. Iceland, what population was it, 300,000 or something like that? Iceland got to the Euros with quarterfinals or semis, was it? To get to no long ago. And you look at their infrastructure, they've got they'll rap, they'll Basque. My mate, he's got a nephew that's like a coach over there. And they've got like 20 like indoor facilities for teams to play. So they play all year, no problem at all. And it's the investment that the country puts into football, and you've got kids playing with the best conditions, etc. And the amount of kids in Scotland that play football, if you give them the best facilities and you give them it affordable for kids to be able to play football, it will come on. But let's see actually now, the more I think about it, right? Dundee United drew 2 each away to Rapid Vienna. Hibs have went and beat Partizan Belgrade 2-0. When was the last time in Scottish football history that we had results like that out with Celtic or that lot? You're talking back in the 80s where Scottish football was blooming and it was kind of on a par with English football. And it was at the time. Because at the end of the day, you would play Dundee United or playing Man United, and you didn't know who was going to win. And it was like, you look at the resources, but money wasn't the overriding factor. But Scottish football knew, with the investment in Hearts, as I've said, Aberdeen to an extent, I don't know how Tilleen's going to do with them, etc. But David Gray with Hibs and us, and obviously they can get Russell Martin, but hopefully, from my perspective, but for their perspective, they're going to get better. But it's maybe like Scottish football's maybe on the upturn, because I can't remember, since we've been doing this podcast or whatever, When have we seen 2 results like that in Europe? And Hibs went to Michelin and should have beat them.
Aye.
But they didn't. When have we seen results? You're talking about teams for Scotland would go and get absolutely thumped off anybody of any note at all away from home in Europe. Thumped outside Celtic and Rangers. But now they're making a fist of it. So it could be good times around the corner.
Yeah, I'm very happy for David Gray because one, he scored that header against the fucking Monkatonks, and 2, he was literally a bee's dick away from getting the X.
That's what I was going to say, Joe. I mean, fair play to the Hibs board and the Hibs fans for standing behind him, because last season, Hibs and Hearts were both at the relegation zone, like halfway through the season. And what a run he went on.
I think it came down to one game at one point. I think at one point it was the weekend you're kind of going, if they don't win this, he's done.
Yeah.
And then it went from there to fucking doof. And I was like, fair play to you, mate. Fair play to you.
Big time. But, this could be a wee bit of resurgence in Scottish football. And with the Tony Bloom coming in, it can only be good for Hearts. I mean, him coming in there, what he done with that Union St Gallows, or how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, in Brighton, unbelievable. So, it could be a tremendous season in the SPFL.
Well, at 2 hours and 15 minutes, that is the best place to leave this on the positive. We have climbed the mountain. We've climbed from fucking it feels like shit to Scottish football is about the fucking Challenge La Liga.
Aye.
So I'd say we leave it there. There's nowhere else to go.
Let's look at the game Sunday before we go. Let's just
go for it.
A big preview. So, Jason, did you watch the Aberdeen Hearts game on Monday? I saw bits of it.
I did.
I'm praying that Shinnie plays left back and James Forrest plays right wing against him, because he murdered him last season at the end of the season. Remember that game?
See, to be fair to Shinnie, see, after the own goal, I thought he was actually no too bad.
He was, but he doesn't have the pace to be a proper.
Nah. And do you know what? I don't know about you. Did you watch it all, Liam?
No, second half was I was doing other stuff with it on the background, but I did catch a good bit of it.
I thought it was like a 50-50 game. I thought Hearts were marginally the better team, but I thought Aberdeen were wasteful. I thought they played all right. And it was a decent enough game, but Hearts were worthy winners. But Aberdeen weren't too bad, but they didn't look great shape. I think Hearts looked great either. They looked all right. But what a goal Shanklin scored by. Oh my God. Then I get rolled offside, and it was offside. You could see it. You knew it was going to get ruled out, but it was unlucky as fuck. What a strike it was.
Yeah. I think what I saw in that game, and I saw bits of Falkirk were playing on Sunday, I think, before our game, and then obviously Motherwell. It's nice to see more teams trying to play a bit of football so far.
Aye. Definitely.
On the surface.
Apart from St Mirren.
I think they'll be a good team still. I do. I think they'll be.
No, they will. He'll obviously get the best out of what he's got. But I was bumming the guy up there. I was slagging him, but I don't mean that. Obviously, he's came to Celtic Park. He can't actually play an expansive style of football and expect to get away with a result. But it's all born good. And the Kilmarnock-Livingston game as well. Kilmarnock going 2-0 up, and you're like, there, man, you get Livingston going to be cannon for them, they come back. So,
even Livingston, again, listen to the Open Goal podcast, but they seem to have transformed the way they play. They seem to be playing a lot more football now, and certainly I watched the highlights Saturday or Sunday. I thought they were pretty good, played a bit of football. A good striker up front. I think he used to be at Kilmarnock. He looked a good player. Boy scored the first goal.
Less said about Dundee, the better.
It's a weird setup, that a weird one.
Amount of players they've lost, then they've got Elvis in, he's turned around.
Yeah.
If you want somebody that's got success, I'm not your man. And do you know what as well? I've said to you before on this, I really like him, right? And it's good when I listen to other podcasts that loads of folks say he's a cracking guy because he never ever says anything bad about Celtic. You know, and I thought a decent player for us when he played with us as well.
I'm not a fan of him, right? But just pure that's ignorant saying that, right? But every ex-player that's played with him for Celtic, they can't speak highly enough of him.
Aye. And
he was the only one I ever heard say that, like, saying for Celtic cost me friends. People aren't in my life anymore.
Aye. He played with that a lot, didn't he? And then obviously maybe friends run about that. And then, but he's never ever said anything bad about Celtic. And, fair play to him, you know. But I hope it works out for him, but I can't see it. It seems doomed for the start. And obviously Dundee fans were raging when they got the job. And it's like just a weird.
I actually couldn't imagine taking a team talk off Stephen Presley without going, huh?
But see like to me, see like Dundee, would you not think Dundee are a far bigger team than St Mirren?
Yeah.
Why would they not go for Robinson? You know, maybe St Mirren have got better finances than them. They wouldn't be able to pay him any more or whatever. But like, I would always class Dundee as a kind of pretty big team in Scottish terms. Since I don't know, maybe them and St Mirren are a bit apart now, but historically, Dundee would have been a far bigger team. But
why would you sack Tony Dock, who got results
I know,
and Rangers at the end of the season, and then
it was absolutely bonkers. It was bonkers.
A novice like Stephen Presley,
and he had the players playing for him.
Yeah.
You know, it seems if, and obviously the players are maybe with Presley down tools. I don't know, but like, I don't see much happening for them this season. I think they're 100% to get relegated. One game into the season, things can change, but I don't see much changing, to be honest with you. Yeah. And it's a shame because I do like Big Elvis. He comes across a decent guy. Never met him in my life, but he does come across a decent one.
Who's your team?
Sunday. I think you go first, Jason. I'll go after you.
Right, okay. Right, Schmeichel in goal, obviously. Left back, KT. I think he'll go with Scales again, Carter Vickers and AJ. Then your midfield. I think he'll maybe go with the same midfield. He'll definitely go with Hatate and McGregor. I think he'll probably go with Nygren in midfield again. And do you know what? He might actually go with the exact same team.
I was thinking that too.
I don't know what else he can do.
I was thinking we might see James Forrest.
He might play Engels.
Engels was good. I thought. He looked pretty sharp.
He did look sharp.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Joe? He might go with Forrest. He might go with Forrest to start because Forrest roasted last year. He's got to. So that would maybe be my only change. Because let's face it, you've not got a left winger. So you need to play Maid out in the left wing.
But Forrest can play either side either. And see the thing with James Forrest the weekend, what I noticed that I hadn't noticed before was that players are afraid to actually go in and tackle him because he's so late in his toes. I mean, he was the only player I'd seen when he came on in the entire game that went from one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch to the ball to create something, and nobody fucking kind of got near him. And I was like, well, that's kind of what we've been crying out for the whole fucking game. Is somebody come in and just kind of start disrupting things. And he could do it. And he did do it. So to not play him, again, I said it last season, like if you have a fit James Forrest, you get 60 minutes out of him, fucking do it.
Maybe Liam will think that. Obviously, he gave the ball away a lot, didn't he, last week?
A critique from a position of love, mate. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
We need to let the listeners know what you said to me, don't we? Should we? Tell the listeners the first thing you said to me after the game.
Just giving him some tough love, mate. Just pointing out his, wasteful possession at times in the game by his own high standards. Interpreting what I said.
Listen, let me tell the folks the truth. Liam was in the chat slating James Forrest. Fucking load of pish. Absolute shit today. Get that cunt.
It's not quite true, Joseph. That's not quite true.
I'm in Skip's side here. Aye. So I think to be honest, we'll go the exact same. Potentially Engels in for Nygren, and do you know what? I think he might play Engels because you're playing away from home. You're playing away from home, and it's maybe the defensive type rather than the gung ho type.
I thought Nygren was decent. I just thought he was kind of out of sync.
I think he's just getting used to it.
Aye.
I think he'll be a player, by the way. I think he'll get us plenty of goals. I'm confident he'll be a good one.
See what I thought? It's probably his first experience of playing for Celtic against a kind of a packed defence, because the friendlies he played in, they were pretty open games, weren't they?
Aye, good point.
Yeah, so I think maybe just it was that kind of that low block he was trying to deal with and stuff. And I didn't think the attack was brilliant on Saturday. He was trying all the right things as he always does. It weren't quite coming off. McGregor was solid as always without being brilliant. So maybe just. It's that type of game. So maybe it might suit him playing up at Aberdeen, but I think he'll play Engels as well, Jason, to be fair. I think it's a away game. He'll go for the legs.
I think so. Aye. Bring Nygren on. Nygren will be a good sub to bring on.
Looking forward to see it. Up front.
Up front. I think I'll be Adam Ida again, to be honest with you. I mean, the thing is, if you chuck the Japanese boy on, it's a right boot in the balls to Ida. And I don't think Brendan Rodgers is frightened to do that, but you can't bring the Japanese kid on, you're bringing Johnny Kenny on, and then start him at Aberdeen. But you could, I don't know. But see when you think back, right? You think back, mind the Kilmarnock away game with Ida up front. Fucking, he was outstanding. Remember that man?
Yeah.
5-0. It was fucking unplayable, and you're hoping he replicates that, but I think he will start. The main point is we don't have a left winger, so right.
Yeah, people keep saying about us signing a left winger. We need a right winger. We do, but Maeda would be brilliant on the right wing. I know he wouldn't be cutting inside, but he'd fucking destroy everybody on the outside anyway. So
it's kind of fucking criminal to have Kieran Tierney on the left as a left back and not have somebody decent you can link with.
Yeah.
I mean, not like you fucking you're wasting it.
You're wasting a mad part of Kieran Tierney's game.
But if you think about the way we played Sunday, Johnson was playing much more inverted than he normally does, right? So if Maeda's playing one-on-one on the right wing, he's gonna do that guy every single time.
Aye.
So if we sign a left winger before a right one, for me it's not a big deal. It might be someone that links up a bit better, technically with Tierney, and then Maeda just burns them every time.
Yep. I think Maeda could play anywhere up front.
Yeah.
I think without a doubt. And as you say, he's knows better. He's better on his right foot than his left, so he's probably better on the right than he is on the left.
Yeah.
So concentration in Celtic should be a left winger. But the thing is, you're not going to pay big money because you're going to get Jota back.
I think, and just Rodgers likes to play these, inverted wingers, doesn't he? He wants them coming in all the time or having the ability to come in. So that's why we end up kind of playing that way. But so here's something to finish off on the transfer window. West Brom have paid more money for Nat Phillips this summer than we've spent on transfers so far. There's the context we all need to settle down.
Do you know what? There you go. There's the gap. There is the gap. The gap is Nat Phillips.
Finish the high and just the Brummy just fucking brings it right
from now on, when we talk about the gap between finances, English football and Scottish football, we'll just go to the Nat Phillips calculation.
Yeah, Jason, that's not a downer. That's saying it could be worse. We could be West Brom fans here.
What have they paid for?
What is 3 million, which I think is about what we've spent so far.
For Nat Phillips.
He's fucking hopeless, man, honestly.
Oh, he has.
Do you know what though? See if he was your son and he stole a wage like that, you'd be delighted.
We were talking the other day about who's the worst player you've seen at Celtic, and I think he was almost top of my thoughts there.
Shane Duffy might have a question there.
Shane Duffy is fucking up there.
But you've seen him be good. You've seen him be good somewhere else. I don't think I've ever seen Nat Phillips be good anywhere.
YouTube, I've seen Nat Phillips be good. That's about it.
What about Grealish going to the Toffees?
Yeah, I've heard some
That's
rumours.
right. Fuck it, that'd be spectacular.
I think it's.
He's a fucking player and clearly a good cunt too.
Yeah, I told you when I had a few beers with John McGinn and I was asking him, I said, will he be back? And he went, not a chance. While Emery's here, I said, 0 chance.
Did you know that Everton got a bid knocked back a day, 15 million for John McGinn?
They put a bid in.
Aye, Villa knocked it back.
15. There's no chance, mate. They'll sell him for that.
Aye.
Villa's not signed a player yet.
Aye.
Why would Grealish never go back to Villa? Did it end badly?
No, but what
Manager.
What McGinn was saying is Emery rules with an iron fist sort of thing, right? As in every attention to every detail, right, and every training session. Remember I was saying to you that him and Grealish and McGinn were best pals at Villa when he was there, and then when I was at that game there, I thought them two would have a big hug at the end, and they were sniping at each other, arguing all the time. And McGinn was saying Grealish was just bad-mouthing him through the whole game, and he said he used to be like that every day at training. He just used to abuse everybody around him just to get himself motivated to train and play. But he said he was just too much of an individual. He said like he wouldn't last 2 minutes. Emery wouldn't entertain him for a second there.
Oh,
because he wouldn't toe the line for like training, just match discipline or whatever. And that's why I think it hasn't worked at Man City for him, because at Villa he was the star man, obviously, all the time. But Pep plays everyone has got a specific role in the team that Pep plays, and Grealish has had to do a specific job all the time, which goes completely against the nature of what sort of player he is. He's a maverick. He's just let him loose and do his stuff.
So he's a player, but not a team player.
It's not. There's not a team player, but he's a dribbler. He's an entertainer. He's a match winner. He wants to have that freedom in the last third to do what he wants to do. But Villa don't play that kind of way. You know what I mean? It's kind of everyone's got a specific role. Emery's very, very detail orientated. So McGinn said he wouldn't last 5 minutes under him.
Do you know what? I'd love an idea with Jack Grealish. He seems like a good cunt to party with. I'd last, I don't know, hour and a half. I'd be in bed then.
I don't think so.
2.5 hours ago to this, folks. That was good. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Aye.
Right.
Cathartic.
Enjoy Sunday, mate. I hope it goes really well.
Aye, listen, do a wee after thing for 2 minutes. I need to go.
Yeah, no worries.
Sweet. We're going to end this off.
Hell, Aberdeen.
See you next week.
Cheers.
All right.